Delore La Sylvia.
Your ambitions will lead to your destiny. Now take the hand of the distorted goddess.
The cold star shall arise once more. Over my kingdom of Calphion.
That's fine.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome to a console stream. As you can tell, we kind of borrowed a video from Blood Desert Online because we couldn't find ours. But also, let's watch it again.
No, we're not watching again. We're loud?
No. I'm joking.
Are we loud?
How does it sound? Because it was a bit messy. Everything got trashed. So let's check. People saying we're loud. People saying we're good. We're loud.
Huh.
Sounds good. All right, sounds fine. All right, let's
Okay.
just leave it at that.
Sweet. We have 30 minutes until the sound gets scuffed. All right, so you guys have gotten better with sound. You'd be surprised.
This is crazy. I'm not
Okay.
comfortable.
So, welcome to the stream. My name is Trent.
My name is Sharna.
If you...
That's weird. Why did you do that?
I know.
That's usually me.
I know.
I'm confused.
Two new things here. So, if you are joining the stream for the first time, which I don't think you are, we'll go over state of the addresses, then we do patch note updates, then event stuff, then we do a little bit of gameplay, then Q&A. Now, in terms of state of address, one thing I do want to mention, and the reason why we're wearing masks in the office right now,
While we were married.
while we're married,
Yeah.
because of love. But the reason why we're wearing masks is because in Korea, the virus threat level, I guess, is at 2.5. There is a good chance that it's going to rise to 3. And our office is doing everything we can to follow those legal protocols.
Yeah.
And to make sure that we're safe. Even though we have full body, like, disinfectant stuff here and body temperature scanners and everything like that, we are ramping up our precautions to make sure that we stay safe. Luckily, everyone in the office has been safe. None of us have contracted the virus and we're good, but even more of us will be working from home unless needed. So that's one, right? Sure, I just bounced. So yeah, in terms of the reason for the outbreak, and I'll explain this part. The reason why of the outbreak is legitimately there is no singular pinpoint. It's more due to, it's the cold weather and therefore viruses travel faster. There is no singular pinpoint for it, and Korea as a whole is doing the best that they can to everyone in Korea is doing the best they can to make sure that we mitigate any additional casualties to it,
Yeah.
So as an office, we're doing our best to follow the protocols, and yeah, that's where I hope you guys are staying safe too. Right, so that's the COVID thing.
You done? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, was there anything else that we had to say?
About COVID?
No, about just like before we get into the patch notes.
State of the address. If you haven't seen it, you should watch the Calphion Ball. Myself and Sherna had hosted the English version of it.
I would say, okay, building on that, if you haven't watched it, we are going to talk about it today in the stream because it was a big thing that we do need to discuss. There's a lot of things to take from it, and there's a lot of questions that were asked that we kind of want to try and answer.
Wait, noise? Is it the aircon?
I think it's fine. Just leave it. Okay. So we'll talk about the console stuff. Then Yeah, it's probably the heater in here. It is really cold, okay? We have to have the heater on. Also, you might have to turn down... Kashima, you might have to turn down the gain.
No, they're saying it's a loud buzzing, so maybe it's... Is it this? It is probably the heater.
Yeah,
right?
turn off the heater. Let's try that. All right, so what was I saying? All right, so I'll say what you need to do then is we'll talk about it, and then you can go back and watch it. Black Desert Foundry, which is an online website, it's for PC, did a really good write-up of the whole event. If you can't be bothered to watch the whole thing.
Okay.
They did a really good write-up, but we'll talk about that, and we're going to use theirs to talk about ours as well. We do have some other stuff to add. Right, I think that's it for that. Let's get on to the patch notes then.
Okay.
All right, so this is a smaller update compared to usual because...
This week and... Well, it's this week as well as next
This week, there'll be... I think it's only the class next week.
Yeah.
But it is the year's end, which makes it harder to get things pushed through cert processes because they do close down. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what they... We'll see what happens. But this one is kind of small. But we'll start off with Nova. Nova pre-creation is coming in this update next Tuesday. The class will be available to play. I believe it's next Tuesday. I might be a little bit wrong there.
Yeah. Pre-creation this time. Next time it's going to be the launch. And then you get to swing a Morningstar around, which would be really, really sweet.
Okay. We do have some breaking news.
Hold on. Before we do that. Nova trailer. How did you feel about it?
It was good. It actually had a story. Like
it was dope, man.
Yeah, it was so good. It's so good.
The story was sweet.
It was legitimately one of my favorite trailers, I think, that we've had.
Yeah.
So pre-creation will come with the next update, which is probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. And then, release will be next week. Okay. Legitimately, technology is here, boys. We've talked about it since it should have come in. And we've said that it's been delayed over and over again. Skill presets are finally added in, which means that you could switch from Succession to Awakening much, much easier. So that's coming in. Skill presets, you do need to use...
To explain skill presets for people who don't know what... who don't look at, BDO patch notes. Skill presets are basically something that you'll get a coupon for doing the Awakening questline and the Succession questline. So what happens is you use these coupons, go to your skill menu, which we'll show, and you can do different loadouts, essentially. So I know a lot of you who, let's say, play a caster class, or if you play Mystic, you'll want to switch between your PvE skills and your strictly PvP skills. You can do that now with your skill presets, but it has to be, we'll double check it, it has to be done in a safe zone, right, to be able to do that. But yeah.
Yep. It'll be Wednesday our time, this update.
Yeah.
Wednesday our time. Okay. Next up. There's some character changes, but it's mostly fixes. Double check that one for me right now.
Yep. But can I talk about this one?
Yeah, go on then. You can talk about it while you check.
Yeah. Give me a sec. You may have to talk about it.
All right. So, we recently had an event that we were all very happy with. There is one extra, though. Hold on. We're checking something. No, it's not in. No. Okay. So, the end... all right. We'll get to that. Okay, so, we had an event, the mole feed, the mole thing that came out. The moles popping up out of the ground when you're doing farming. That is now a permanent feature.
Yes.
You want to talk about it?
So, if you do farms and whatnot, and you either harvest or you plant breed, you can get one of the moles may pop out. And basically, you smoke it, and it gives you a variety of things, mostly your Dreamhorse materials.
But it does give black stones too, which is kind of nice.
I like it because I do farming, and this helps me quite a bit. To have it as a permanent feature is going to be great, and I'm pretty happy about that.
Okay, so One of the things, this was applied before. People are, yeah, that's where I was going when you
What?
said smoke hit, and yeah.
What?
Uh,
What? You just smoked the mole.
yeah, sure. Okay, all right. So the next one is the returning adventurer thing has been modified.
Mhm.
This happened a while ago, but unfortunately it only got added in the patch notes this time around. Basically, it used to be haven't logged in for 30 days. We have changed that so that it's not logged in for 30 days. You cannot use the Central Market app or interact with the Central Market in any way at all. Because if you do it through the app, you're still considered to be logging in.
Yep.
So that has been changed. But yeah.
But more details on that on the website. Like, I believe
Yeah.
there is a notice for it. If not, just wait for the patch notes to find full details of what exactly, what are the different caveats in terms of what makes you a returning user or not. The next thing is Guild Boss.
Yep.
Guild Boss Farron got beefy.
He got buff. He's been working out in the sulfur iron mines. I don't know where he is, but
More
he's,
fire, more lava, more power.
Yep, and he drops more stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
You can talk about this one.
Which
'cause
one?
The next one.
Transporting mounts.
Yeah.
All right. You can now transport your mounts. So if you want to move your boat from one place to another, or you want to move your horse to one place to another, you can transport them the same way that you transport your characters. I believe it costs 1 million silver and it takes 10 minutes. But there cannot be any trade goods in the thing when you transfer it, because otherwise that's cheating. I thought it was already in the game too, but apparently this time now it counts for boats as well. I don't know. Someone said that it's in, so it's in the
That's
patch
what we're
notes.
saying, right? I know. We've already said it, but yeah. Next thing is we reworked parts of the main quest line in Valanos. Yeah. Go do the rework for the storyline. It'd be nice.
Yep. But we've added new chat groups for your classes. You'll be able to join.
Tentatively.
It's in the patch notes, man.
Yeah,
Taking
I know.
So it should be in. And that's
about it. In terms of the update, it is quite a light one, but the two biggest things are the three biggest things are Nova pre-creation, skill presets, and the moles.
Yeah.
I like the moles.
The moles are good.
I
The moles are
legitimately
good.
do think it's that. So yeah, that's how that's gonna be. Anything else?
And as you said, it is a small update because everything closes down for Christmas and we cannot push too much stuff in between that period where the cert process closes down.
Mm-hmm.
So if we push something big now and it broke,
Not even that. I would say that, given that it's near the end of the year and we are kind of gearing up for the Nova launch, this is pretty much what we're going with. And yeah, I know a lot of you are disappointed. Like, why can't we do more content? Why don't we do this? Where's Stars End and all this other kind of stuff? Yes, people are upset about this. Yeah. Anything else?
no, let's go into the events.
Let's go. All right. So event-wise, pre-creation event. Make Nova. Secret Book of Old Moon, Trainer's Flute, and Blessed Mystical. It will be yours after the December 22nd maintenance. Then there is another pre-creation event where you create a Nova, share Nova on social media, I believe, and then get rewards for it based on your chances of winning. Super Hot Time. The Super Hot Time is basically combat EXP 300% more and skill EXP 50% more. This was announced during the Heido Ball, I believe.
And it's also all servers, including Olvia.
Including Olvia. Then...
Alright, we just got these. We didn't translate them for once. So we're sorry if we're not 100% sure on these events. I'll bring it up.
One thing that we also said during the Calpheon Ball was that there was going to be a special collaboration coming out of our Tokyo office. So out of our Tokyo office, Nakashima Mika is a great artist who has revamped one of her songs to help us with one of our events to celebrate Nova.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that, you will get items that will help you with your combat EXP or your skill EXP as well. And I think the other stuff, there are a couple other events, but those are still kind of in the works and
One of
being
them-
QA'd.
I mean, we could talk about this one. We're
Okay.
getting a special Termian event, which means you'll be able to go and take pretty pictures. There's also a lot of quests down there, I believe. This part is still in Korean, so that's why we don't really want to talk about them too much, just in case there's big changes.
Because they are being changed. So the reason why, and I see some people are saying that the reason why this seems unorganized is legitimately because of we just came off the heels of the Calpheon Ball. Even though our update material was there, we're kind of coordinating it to make sure that Nova is basically released without a hitch.
Yep. And
It
we
is what
put
it is.
we did put a lot of resources into
Yep.
the Calpheon Ball. If you've watched it, there was a lot of work gone into it. So yeah, unfortunately, you know, that's it.
Yep.
But yeah.
That's
Okay.
basically where we're at. Now, next part is.
No. This is for later. This is for
You want
later.
to do it for later?
Yeah.
I say we kind of knock it out.
Nah, all right. So here's the plan now. We're gonna show the pre-customization real quick because we've all done it before. Then we'll show the skill preset stuff. Then we'll go into the Q&A stuff.
Yeah, which will include talking about the Calpheon Ball.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Switch to me. Let's hope it works this time and it's not pink. No. We've swapped the HDMIs around. The other one.
Yep.
There we go. Okay. All right. We switched the HDMIs around. We got to switch them back. Okay. All right. This is Nova. As you can see, she looks pretty cool. It is a very nice shield.
Oh, noise is bad?
The noise is bad again. Where's the static coming from? You know, you have someone else come in, do your room, and everything breaks. I can't take anything out.
No, the in-game sound.
In-game sound.
Is it the in-game sound or is it the mic? It's good now. It's good now. Other screen has bad audio. My screen has bad audio. PlayStation has bad audio. Okay.
The mics. All right. I plugged them back in. I pushed them in properly. All right. So,
In-game static. Okay.
what I thought I would show you is the costumes that you get for the normal armors. This is Xbox. This is Xbox. We got the wrong name tags on. Okay, that's one of the armors. This is another one. I actually kind of like this one.
Yeah?
I like the more basic looking ones.
Okay.
There's this one.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. Wait. She's wearing shorts and long. Okay. Wrong button. Okay, and then this one.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. This one.
Mm-hmm.
No, not a big fan. I like that one though. I don't know why I like this one, but and that one. So these are the default armors, and then you have the classic one. Was there something else? I'll show you the basic face types. 1, 2. What? She just gets weirder eyes. 3. I don't know what. It's something about those eyes that just kind of freaks me out.
It's the pop when you switch. It just looks different. But yeah.
But yeah, those are the things.
You forgot one.
I forgot one, did I?
I forgot
I don't
nothing.
think I forgot at all. Someone said show her ankles. Dude, she's a nun.
No.
She's a nun.
No. This is already gonna go bad.
No, look. Why? She wears long boots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, she looks cool.
That's pre-creation. I mean, I could sit here and do a face and I could sit here and face shape and do.
Please
this.
turn on bisymmetry.
Nope.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's my stuff.
What are you? Are you trying to give her the people's eyebrow?
Trying to give her the people's eye. Oh!
Whoa! We're giving people's eyebrow. Go!
She has the best eyebrows in the game.
Yes.
We're in.
Oh, the people's champion. The people's champ has returned. Oh my god.
That's the best eyebrow in the game.
If you didn't mess up the nose.
I can fix the nose. There you go.
The People's Champion has returned.
The people's champ is here, boys. Boys and girls. The people's eyebrow. Oh. Now I've ruined it.
Oh, now you've ruined it.
Now I've ruined
Oh,
it.
now it's ruined, is it?
Oh, you can make it even better by you doing the bridge there. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right.
Legitimately, kind of my favorite.
Show us hair. Okay. That'll be the last thing I'll show. Types. You got that one? That one? That's the archer's hair.
Yeah, that's nice though.
Yeah, it looks much better on a female class.
But Dwayne Johnson don't look like that. Dwayne Johnson don't look like that at all.
Oh man, I might actually get in trouble after this. There's some people who really don't like. Oh. It matches the face.
This is
And then it's the normal female hairstyles from there. Bum 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 bum.
Wait. Go give her long hair for a sec. It won't matter. And then go. Can you go to the eyes? Can you change the shape of the iris?
Yeah.
Make the one eye that's open. Make the iris smaller.
Dude, I've already said like there is a chance that we might get in trouble here. Wait, what do you mean by the iris? Hold on. Which I can't. Wait, this one.
Yeah. There. Oh, that is that.
I got bisymmetry on. Hold on. Let's turn off the left eye and turn that size all the way back up.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh no.
It's the
No,
Azula.
I gotta do the other one.
Other one.
Da-da-da-da. This is how. Can you imagine? I get fired because of this. That would be great.
This is
Be
like
so weird.
no. This is
Oh,
from.
Yeah.
Have you not watched Avatar?
I have.
Do you know Azula?
Nope. I've watched 2 episodes.
Okay, that doesn't mean you've watched the series. that's not what that means. Anyways, that is Nova Pre-Creation. Please do not. I wonder who the new CM is going to be.
Me too.
Me too.
I actually kind of like it.
Now I know, Kashima. I know what the comment was. One thing I do want to say is last time when we did the pre-creation events for Hasashin,
Yeah. And Guardian.
there was a stark difference between how PC went about it and how you guys went about it. PC looked like they tried to win the contest. Console, on the other hand.
Looks like that.
Console. How do I say this?
Made beautiful masterpieces. Guys, this is.
They were involved in their own competition. But yes, that is pre-creation. I hope you guys do well and don't let me down because I know what console's up to. And yeah, let's go in.
All right, let's switch to the PlayStation, which now looks like an Xbox because it has my name on it.
Yeah.
But that's beautiful. That's Kashima. Is he gone?
There we go.
Oh, there we
Okay.
go. All right.
All right. So this is Xavier, right? So we go to skills, and you can see over here there are skill presets, right? So right now I have skill preset 1. Turn off the PlayStation audio.
I'll do it. I don't know if Kashima knows how to do it.
Give me a sec. We're gonna turn off that audio. I know every stream. Huh? Just turn it off. It's cool. I know what happened. I mean, it's fine now because only me's talking. So there's static. There's static even when I'm talking. Don't smack the mic again. I didn't smack the mic. I'm still talking.
Okay, well, keep going.
Okay. Are we alive now? Okay. PlayStation, is it still buzzing? Hit me.
It should be muted.
There's no sound? Is there in-game sound?
There shouldn't be.
Better. We good? Better. All right. Thank you, guys. Okay. As I was saying, I have
All this is going in a report.
No, let me write that report.
Yeah,
So
we don't have in-game because the
Yeah.
in-game one is scuffed, and I don't want to fix it.
Yep. That's fine. Can you hear me though? That's all I want. So skill preset 1. They can hear me, right?
Yeah. What's happening is some YouTube people pause it and don't realize that they're actually like 30 seconds behind or 40 seconds behind.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so skill preset 1. This is my Awakening loadout. Obviously, I just this is a test server, so I just smacked up everything here. And I am in a... So, hooray, do stuff here. Go to skills, and then for skill preset 2, I just press this. You can change after 3 minutes. Cool down, cool. Let's do... I'll delete this one. That one. So if you want to change certain things, just keep going from here. Then go to save. So you have 1, 2, and then press save. Which one do you want to save it over? I'll save it on this one. Save it. We good. And that is your skill preset.
What? The sound is back?
Gameplay audio is back.
Kashima, what did you do?
Huh. There's static on the mic.
Move your mic further away. Maybe it'll push the wire in.
You can hear again? Sound is bad. PlayStation, turn off game volume. Gain's too loud. Worst on mic. Now it's better. Okay. Sherna, you can go talk to whoever you want. That's fine. All right, we'll talk about it in a bit. It's in-game. We turned it off. It was Trent's mic that's humming. It's better. Perfect. Buzz is gone. Hooray. Wait.
Game sound is gone. Yeah, it's good.
No more? Okay. But yeah, these are your skill presets. It's pretty easy to do. As you can see, how to obtain 1 for completing Awakening, 1 for completing Succession. Do your thing. Applies 10-minute or 10-minute cooldown, and then if you want to change the skills in there, 60-minute cooldown for changing your presets.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
That's it. All right. What we'll do, we'll show the combat trailer as I go and it's not Kashima's fault.
It's not.
It's not.
Alright.
So what we'll do is we'll switch to the combat trailer for Nova as I go and see if I can fix some more stuff very quickly, and then we'll come back. Mm-hmm. Okay? Kashima, combat trailer, go. He's on the run. Stop trying to copy and paste comments from the chat. I see what you're doing, Kashima. Can he? Okay, right. Now let's hope the audio holds out for everything else that we've got to say, because the rest is kind of important.
Let me speak. Is it all good? Do I speak?
Move yours a little bit closer to you. What basically, I don't think they... Okay, it should be good. All right. Yeah. So, she's actually... We can't show her off today, unfortunately. But we have had a little bit of a fandangle, and we've played her a little bit.
Yeah.
She's cool. She's
fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
We haven't put the coupon code up yet. Buzz is back.
What about now?
sounds good until you touch the mic. You know what it is? Yeah. Push it in underneath. Don't take it out.
Yeah, I know.
Because you'll kill everyone. See if that's better. Push it. Just push it in.
Yeah, it's in. I'm pushed in. Okay, let's see. Now it's louder. Better now, saved. Okay, cool. I'm not doing nothing, yo. Every single time, have we ever had a stream with perfect audio?
Yeah, the last one. The Calpheon Bolt, because we weren't in charge.
Yep.
No, we had a few. It should be good. Basically, someone came in and we had to change the settings.
Okay. Basically, especially with this room, because it's kind of like a multi-purpose room, other people come in and use it. And when the settings are altered to do different kinds of projects, it kind of messes things up. And keep your hands away off them. You're delayed. It's cool. Those settings have been changed, and it's been kind of rough just to kind of get it done with.
But
and
we're back. We seem to fix. This isn't the PC room. This is just like a multi-purpose room.
Yeah.
But it's basically ours from the table this way. Mobile stole it.
Yeah.
And they treated it nicely. They didn't move too much stuff, so it's cool. It's fine.
The reason why I have to keep saying it is because there are people who I'm an alien. It's because people come in to the stream and have questions that they may not know. So it's easier for me to assume that they're new as opposed to, Yeah.
Yep.
So anyways.
Okay, so
thing.
first off, people are asking about Christmas. We've talked about Christmas. There will be the Christmas Termian event. There's a couple of other events for Christmas, which also means, ladies and gents, the greatest soundtrack in the history of soundtracks is coming back. We're getting the Christmas music. We did it, boys. Christmas music is here.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
It's coming, ladies and gents. It is coming. Okay, all right. So let's talk about the Calpheon Bowl, shall we?
Okay.
So on Saturday, everyone's time, because of time zones, we did the Calpheon Bowl. We were the English hosts, and we had a lot of fun, especially during the dice game, which was not rigged. It was not supposed to go that way. There was a very set of rules, but unfortunately, the dice was not in their favor. They rolled a lot of ones. They were only supposed to roll 5 times, but we ended up getting a lot of rewards from it. So they will be sent during this maintenance, I believe. It's like 80 stack. Was it 80 stack?
There's an 80, 60, 40. Basically,
I can't remember everything that was there.
Basically, what ended up happening was the rolls were so bad that the rules changed mid-game.
And it's really hard. No, we actually didn't rig it to give you items. Like, that would be cool, but we didn't.
Pretty much. Trent should have rolled the dice, and I could barely pick it up. So that was the Calpheon Ball stream. We did the English side of things, and the reason why it was at that time is because if it was just me and Sherna doing the stream, we would make it easier for both EU and NA, clearly.
Yeah.
Because that's our audience for the dev streams. However, in regards to the Calpheon Ball, it was kind of a message to everybody. And because of how many people were on the stream and how much they were working on it, it had to match the Korean time of things.
Yep.
And therefore it hit those times.
And I'll say it again, because one of the things is we had to hire a lot of people to come in and do all that setup and manage all the cameras and everything like that. You have to pay. It's not about the money, but getting people to come in at like 3 a.m. to set everything up so that you can start at 10 a.m. is really rough.
Not just that, but because of COVID protocols, we had to make sure that it's at this certain time.
Yep. Because you're not allowed to have anything really run
Yeah.
past. Is it 9 p.m.? 9 p.m. is where most social gatherings close, so we had to buy time there and get people. Like it's tough.
The next thing I want to do is kind of do a shout out to our audio team. I know based on this stream, it's kind of hard to shout out our audio team, but the audio team that was involved with making those music videos and reimagining like the Valnos theme, the Serendia theme, the
Odalita theme,
the Odalita and the fight themes. It was, for me, it was awesome. I know it kind of came out of the blue for you guys for the first video, but
that bass was kicking.
I loved it so much, and I genuinely was like bopping to it, and I wasn't ready to go on stream because of that.
Yeah,
but,
the bass, that bass line in the Balanos one. Oh, just to let you know that one of the guitarists is one of our lead audio designers.
Yeah.
And the others, I believe, were his band.
Yes. And they worked really hard on getting that done, and I was actually really happy for it.
Okay.
Next thing I want to do is, I know, we're going into it slowly, right? The next thing is, for both myself and Sherna, when we were doing the stream, legitimately thank you to all of you console players who showed up for that stream. Just like with the Heido Ball, except a lot more of you turned out for it, which was awesome. It helped put us at ease. And, you know, I saw a lot of you guys also streaming on top of it and helping us out with your version of the stream, which was great. A lot of you guys who participated, and we wanted to give a shout out, but because of the scope of the event and because of how many people were watching it, I think just calling out certain individuals be like, how dare they, you know? That was still us as being a professional, right? And so again, thank you everyone who showed up to that. I saw a lot of you guys rage with us on the dice game, and it was great. Legitimately, I thank you so much, and I want to keep going into your guys' streams and saying thank you for that. It legitimately made me happy.
Can we get into it now?
Yeah, let's go. I just want to say nice things, man.
All right,
let's get into the real stuff.
You make me. When is the anime waifu going to become CM? I know, man.
Very soon.
An AR anime waifu was amazing. Okay, so just before we get into the actual things, the coupon codes that you would have got from this, Calpheon Gift 1212, which is your Advice of Valks plus 100.
Mm-hmm.
Your 4-tier Young Rauno exclamation mark is your Burning Jade Flame, which you combine with that Winter-bearing egg, and you get a tier 4 Dragon Pet. And from tomorrow, so from the next update, Hammers from J1212 will get you the Hammer of Loyalty, which is basically it's basically an item
It's an attempt.
Yeah, it's an attempt at whatever you're looking for. For gear only. Doesn't include your accessories. It's weapons and gear only.
Please do check out the notices on the website for, you know, spelling and all that kind of stuff. If you input the how do you combine the egg and flame? Put them side by side, combine it.
No. Go to your inventory, unsort, move the egg and the flame next to each other. If it doesn't pop that way around, move one of them to the other side. You'll see the plus icon, press A. If you have other combinable items in your inventory, such as relic scrolls, whichever is first in slot will need to be activated first. You can unmove that, and then it'll turn up.
Yeah, pretty much. And all those coupon codes, if you don't know about it, are on the notices. If for some reason they did not work, like you put it in and it did not work, that's not the hammer.
Also, make sure to check your mail. You go start reward mail. I know it's an unused feature now. Oh, I touched my mic. I know it's an unused feature now because we do the Black Spirit safe, but there are still things sent there, so you should check it every now and then.
Yeah, so please do check it. Again, if you have issues, send it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So the Jace Hammer, I'm gonna say, if I see anyone blow it on a Tri-Grunil, I'm a flip desks.
And I'll be proud of you.
So I would say, like, go for your pens, or like some people are saying save it for later. It's up to you. But yeah.
Okay. Next thing, let's start going over the Coffin Ball.
Okay, so one of the things that came up was essentially this looks great for PC, but where is the console stuff? And we were saying this is Black Desert as a whole. So if you don't know, Jesok, the guy who was the guy presenting the roadmap,
The lead game
designer, is actually a living legend, and we actually really love that guy. We go talk to him all the time.
When we say that we go talk to a developer and then we kind of hold back on the name, it was always him. And the reason we never really said his name is because he wasn't, like we said during the stream, he's very soft-spoken and he was very shy about that. But now that he's on stream, I can say his name. So we would talk to Jesong about that. And then following the Calpheon Ball, I saw, and again in chat now as well as during that time and everything else, we saw the feedback like, wait, where's the console stuff? Like, we didn't say anything about console. And there was definite miscommunication in terms of how the information was presented, but given the time limits that we had, it was a little bit difficult. So let's touch on that. Go.
Okay, so essentially, the things that were announced in the Calpheon Ball are planned, a majority of it is planned to be coming to console within the next, when it comes on PC, like around that time or a little bit after. There will obviously be delays, or not obviously delays, but there might be like, you know, a period of time between when it launches, but all that content that they mentioned, most of that content will be able to be in our game.
Yeah.
And people saying like, oh, Jesong Nim clearly, this is a guy who legitimately has been one of the people to push console forward. Jesok has been the guy. He's the guy we go to with suggestions. He's the guy we go to stuff. So basically,
one sec.
He is a console guy.
I'll touch on this. I think because like there are certain words that will trigger people, and in regards to Jezongnim, when he says that it's going to be trying to come in around that same time, I think he generally does mean it. There are certain content that I don't think will make it in the same way because we don't. It needs prerequisite content, and so when that comes in, we go from there. That's about it. So in terms of the content that he announced in terms of the roadmap, I think we're gonna be looking to that, and hopefully it comes in that way. Due to for those of you who come from PC, you know that there's like a weekly update.
Mm-hmm.
Console doesn't work in the same way, and when Sharon said delayed, that's what he meant.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't mean like, you know, we're gonna delay this update until like 2038. I meant like there will be a gap between the two.
Yeah.
But we are planning. So I have a list of things that Jesok messaged us about, and when it is planning to come, we are pretty much on track to hit when PC around that time. This is the plan right now. So things like the 10v10 crew. Things like what else? Attraction, the co-op dungeon that was announced. Those kind of things, they are planned to be as close as humanly possible for console and PC. When we said it, that was the intention. It is the intention of Jesok to bring them as close together as possible. Attraction is the co-op dungeon that people were talking about. So that's the plan. The plan is to have them as close together as we can.
Pretty much.
People saying like, oh, you know, we need Star's End, we need this, that, the other. We know we have, as you said, we have our rough guideline that we can't put out because, you know, if we put dates on it, then it's now this month. Where is it? It's a tentative plan going forward. We don't want to give the dates out, but we do want to say that like it is coming.
Yeah,
it is coming.
And when it comes, it comes. And I still do believe that I believe in Jesselny when he says those kind of things. And in terms of when's this content coming or when's this content coming and things like that, to give out those dates prematurely and with a sense of uncertainty is not okay. Because we've had this for a while, and we've been talking about it for a while, where if we miss something, everyone blew up. Legitimately everyone. So we're not going to really talk about specific dates that way.
Yep.
Anything else?
I kind of want to go through the list of things that they talked about.
Okay.
So we'll go through basically the whole of it, and we'll say whether, like, you know, this is on our list or whether it's something for the future. Because a lot of the things there, things like the new continent, things like the new region, those are going to be much further down the road. The new continent, he said, would be 2-3 years down the line for PC. Hopefully at that time, you know, we're much closer to release schedules. But the new winter area as well is planned to come out the end of the year. So if 2021 is the roadmap for this, things like, you know, DNET coming, things like the dungeon, things like 10v10 crew, things like the Node War, Conquest War rework, things like, what was the other ones that were in there? There was the bounty sheriff system, a couple of new world bosses and things like that, the housing updates. They're planned this year. I'll say that. They're planned this year. Plans do change, and we are going to have a note coming out with a rough roadmap for 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully when we get that, we do.
All right.
The other thing I will touch on,
Okay.
because this is frustrating, but in the idea of remaining professional, is that I get that in this kind of a discussion while I'm speaking, there's a word that people will hang on to and run with it, right? And I could see it specifically in Twitch more so than YouTube right now, right? I could see it specifically in Twitch more than YouTube, where I'm going to run with this shtick as long as I can, even though there are things that have been explained in the past. I'm aware of people's frustrations in terms of, okay, I'll use that word, drip feed. Considering how much has been added into the game within 2020, I myself, as both a player and as an employee, am excited for how much we can do in 2021. Legitimately speaking. And given what we saw in that presentation and like the Calphion Ball, to hang on to a certain thing as opposed to kind of look at the positives of it does make me somewhat disappointed. And in speaking to a lot of people who are streaming as well as on Discord, there's a lot more positivity than there is negativity. If you were going to focus on the one thing that, like, well, even though you promised this, I'm going to hang on to this one thing, you're never going to be happy. That's just me speaking as a person as opposed to a CM. You will never be happy with the content that's coming out. And that is frustrating. The whole thing of nothing in Calphion Ball will hit us till late next year, I will hold you to that. Right?
Also, I'm gonna say it. There is this thing. We are in chat. We're here. We're gonna be talking, but be human.
Yeah.
Is the one thing we ask. There is no need to go at people. There is no need to go at us. Be human.
Right. Next thing I want to touch on, right? Because I saw this in the partner podcast as well as amongst partners and streamers and in Discord in general, right? As well as the forum, which was Jezonim said he's going to focus on optimization, yet he said, like, we're thinking about bringing mobs back. How does that even happen? I'll touch on that. One of the things that we've talked about in previous streams, as well as what Jezonim has said, was the optimization efforts that we've done so far may have warranted bringing these mobs back. And we're looking into it. Now, if it doesn't work, we'll have to look into different ways of doing it. I don't see that being a negative, as I seeing it building towards a positive future for the game.
So yeah, the mobs coming back is something that is, we've been talking about it for a while. We said, like, we're reaching the point where we think that the optimization done, as you said, is, reaching a point where we can reintroduce the mobs. We're going to look how it comes through. We're going to see how it plays out. And then if it works, if there is not any huge performance drop, or if it's a really minor one, but, the gameplay improves, we'll bring them back. If we find more errors, maybe not. But we've been saying this for about a month and a half, 2 months now, where someone said, like, when are the mobs coming back? And we're saying we're getting to a point where we're testing it. So this is mob density. Yeah, mob density or things like that. Reverting the change we had, which was the double respawn speed, but 40% less monsters. The revert of that is planned. We're testing it. We've talked about it multiple times over the last few weeks, where optimization is reaching a point where we think we can do it. We're working on it. We're looking into it, but we're not going to release it if it kills everyone else, kind of stuff. So we're testing it. Right. Should we get into the actual content that was announced?
Okay, I'll do one last thing. In terms of people are saying that, like, because I don't think this is out of anger. It's a conversation.
Yeah.
Where someone was saying that it's positive, like possibly it comes from people who have reached their late stages of the game and now feel that they're being punished for having reached those stages. Right? I get that. And I've said this to quite a few people, and I'll say it publicly as well. I think that if you take it as an affront to you, again, you're not going to be happy with any content that we put out at all. One thing that I saw on Twitch, and I think a few people from the YouTube side of things as well as on Twitch side has seen this as well. I got to see what like a new user feels like, and it's just like watching that person play is vastly different from how other people play. That's not the sole basis of my like analytics, I guess, to a certain extent, but it does have an effect on it. It's a variable to actually consider. People who say that, like, in terms of gear scores, you've accounted everyone that has lower gear score than me is silly. I understand that statistics will never be perfect because there's always a way to poke a hole in it. But we're working on those things and seeing how far we can get with that. And again, I do believe Justin when he says that.
And the same thing as well with content. Black Desert has never only pushed content towards the end of the game. There's always been a variety of stuff. So, for example, when Dregan released, it had roughly average, which would be like Tashira Ruins. I say average as in like anyone could really go there. Then you have Blood Wolves, which is like a step up, and then you had Shuriken, which is another step up on that. So just because like you look at the numbers were released in terms of gear score, it doesn't change where the focus is. They're still pushing things for high end. They're still pushing things for mid end. We're still trying to, like, it's a balancing act. And that's what is trying to be done in terms of content that's coming out. Right. So, people asking for Nova. Pre-creation this week. Next Tuesday, she will be available to play. None of those spots are even hard. Yeah, but it's an example. It's an example of a new region that came out that instead of putting 220, 240, 280, it added 120, 180, 210. And back when it was first launched, that would have been, 210 would have been eh. That's the idea, all right? Okay, so let's get on to the actual contents that were there. The Node War Rework. So the plan on the Node War Rework is instead of there being multiple nodes, I think I talked about this in the last stream as well. So instead of there being like multiple nodes in Balanos, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they are condensed into one day. So Balanos will have one day, Serendia will have one day, that kind of stuff. And the idea is an attack and defend push and you expand territories. This is currently being planned. It's currently testing on the global labs on PC. We're taking a look at how it performs, if it improves the systems and stuff like that. So that is something that will be planned to come to console when that package is eventually ready. Main server system and the server wars. This was something that came up as well. Basically, a guild will choose which server they belong to. So you could choose whether you belong to, let's say, Serendia, or you belong to Valencia, or you belong to something like that. Your guild declares for a server, and then there will be server fights. So there'll be like invasion weeks, and there'll be like objectives. This is all planned. It's still early days, I believe. But it's something that they are working on bringing, which is just more PvP content in general, because PvP has been kind of not ignored, but, you know, it hasn't had the best time. So there's been a lot of focus on PvP with this ball specifically. There is 10v10 crews,
which I'm pretty excited about. That one sounds cool.
10-person teams, 3 in reserve, new areas to create competitive content. Things like Capture the Flag or BDO Mini Siege War. Those are the current ideas floating around. Also, Jessout mentioned he wants to add ranking in there and have like a Champions League style in-game event on 10v10 crews. So that's something that they're looking into.
Anything else that we could talk about on this one?
Let's have a look. So the Mystical Fish Challenge, like the mystical epic quests where like there's a small quest that starts and it lasts a long time and it gets something, those kind of things. Sorry, Mike. Those kind of things are planned to be added next year. So the one that they mentioned was the Mystical Fish Challenge, which is the Vel summon spawn. It took 2 years for a person on career to do it. That's planned to be added, and we're going to make monuments for people who complete these things.
Which would be cool.
Yep. Also, hardcore. The one that interested me probably the second most was the Terror of the Sea, the hardcore grind spot.
Yeah.
This is a spot that would scale difficulty depending on how long you're in there. If you die, you lose half loot, for example. This is still, again, early days of planning. We don't have the full information on it. Terror of the Sea grind spot, the more you kill, the harder it gets. You can leave at any time, but if you die, half loot. That's planned next year as well for console. That's not just PC exclusive. That's also planned to come on console as well. The mansions and stuff like that was kind of cool. So you get like a big area that you can, do the gardens and you can do stuff. Still early days on development with that, but we don't know when it will be coming in general. But it would be nice to get next year if possible.
Co-op dungeon was the one that kind of interested me. In terms of co-op dungeon, it was like you take a group of peeps. They all have their actual roles in terms of what class you play and whatnot. And you mill around, and it'll require like 3 to 5 people, I believe? No.
It's okay.
Certain areas will require 3 to 5 people.
Certain things in there,
But you need to solve puzzles in doing so.
Yep. So the idea was not to make an instance dungeon, as you see in other games. The idea was to make like an open world dungeons thing where you can go in, party with other people, and some things might require 3 people, some things may require 5 people, so you will have to band together to get things done. The one thing he wanted to stress here is, solo grind spots are still going to be developed. They don't want it to be compulsory, which is a big thing. They don't want the dungeons to be compulsory, that you have to do the dungeons. So right now, they're not planning in the way of dungeon exclusive rewards, but things are still being worked into. That's what's going to happen with the co-op dungeon. The new region, but that's a couple of years. Let's stop there for content.
Okay. Next thing, because people are asking about this, why would you even talk about it if we're not even going to get this?
As we said, it is planned for when it's going to launch. It's planned for around the time where it's going to launch on PC, assuming it doesn't break the game, which we're planning not to break the game with it.
And now, because I get to do this because it is the console audience I get to speak to, so I get to say this. A lot of the ideas that came from, a lot of the ideas behind the roadmap that Jason showed up if you haven't seen it, a lot of it is built on suggestions, not just from PC, but a lot of it came from the console community. The Discord suggestions, the forum suggestions, the in-game suggestions, a lot of that, such as the 10v10, the dungeons, a lot of this has been kind of influenced by that. And even though I've been kind of frustrated in the past few minutes, I would like to say thank you to a lot of people who are actively giving this kind of feedback so that we're able to make certain contents like this. One thing I'd like to touch on was the capture the flag idea.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that remember from, I want to say Xbox, it was Community Week.
It was a community
It was
week.
a Community Week where we did a very scuffed red battlefield where we tried to
Defend the payload.
And capture the flag-ish type things, but it didn't kind of work. So we kind of used whatever we could from in-game to make sure that this works. And he saw that and looked at it and went, we can really run with this, because it seems like a lot of people liked it, despite how scuffed it was, right?
And it was scuffed.
It was scuffed.
It was
a lot of things in Community Week were scuffed. And when we said way back when, this is stuff that we want to send to the developers to kind of show them that this is what we want to do, and I think content like this would be sweet for everybody, let's run with it. And that idea came from there, and as well as like a lot of other kinds of feedback. So thank you to everyone who participated in those community weeks and helped us get our feedback on that. People who keep giving us Discord suggestions, because in the last 24-ish hours, I get like a bunch of DMs saying that you guys have never listened to console suggestions, which is frustrating. But here it is. This is kind of what we're kind of looking into.
We take suggestions from everywhere. Okay, some people are saying like, oh man, like you're talking about future things where like, you know, we don't even have things like Sicaria or Star's End. They are planned for next year, probably around like the first half, as long as they work. So we are planning to add more grinding spots. We recently added Krutuga. We're looking at adding more when they work as they should. Especially Sicaria has issues with like severe frame drops in the upper regions, and I believe the lower region might be ish. But I know the upper region has a lot of frame issues at the moment. It has frame issues everywhere, so they're looking to optimize that before releasing it here. And when I say frame issues, I'm not talking the usual frame issues. This is like sub 5 frames. It grinds. It grinds to an absolute halt. So there's work being looked at there. Places like Star's End, again, the gear jump with Star's End is kind of huge. So we're looking at adding that in as well. As I said, hopefully the first half of 2021 when they get added. Okay.
Anything else?
I think that's it for the content-y stuff. Things like World Boss Garmoth, we're still looking into it. We're actually looking into the details of what all the data we got back from that Garmoth event. It was kind of cool. The Garmoth event ran okay-ish.
You're really going to say it was okay?
On my Xbox One X, it ran fine.
It did not.
It ran fine for me.
It did not, sir.
It did.
It did not.
It did.
Did it really?
It did. It actually ran relatively okay. And I said within the first half. That doesn't mean, all right, 6 months later. But it ran fine-ish. It was still a bit rough, but it needs more work. So we're going to work on it. We looked at the data. We saw how it ran. We saw, like, you know, there were crash issues. There were people who, you know, had all the frames of a picture book. And we're looking at to see what we can do more. One of the issues is, as it was a timed event, a lot more people went to go and do it because they're not sure when it's coming back. So we're aware of that. We also know how popular Garmoth is in general as a world boss when it first launches. So we're looking at the data. We're looking at the things like the crash rates, things like general performance. On all platforms, we're looking at the data there, seeing what we can improve. Because I believe we removed things like the statues. They got completely yeeted out of the Gomoth nest. So we'll see what happens, but we are planning to launch that as soon as we can get a little bit more on the... polish out a couple more of those rough edges. So that's planned to come relatively soon. Okay. Should we talk about the balancey stuff?
Yeah, but one thing I'll touch on. For people who are spamming in Korean, fix Berserker, you're not spelling Berserker properly.
Yep, it's not Berserker in Korean.
Dude. Mysterious Invite. What's the Mysterious Invite? So it's a quest line. So it's not the mail that you want to look into. Look into your quest from the Black Spirit. Start from there.
Invitation from S.
Yeah.
It gives you the CP extra contribution point tome that you can do.
Yeah, by the way, if you were a true Berserker, you would know that's not called Berserker in Korean. So.
You don't have to murder my boys like that. You don't have to murder
your boys don't understand. So that's on you. Next thing?
Man, you've killed me. You've killed me, man. That's just harsh. Okay, so on the topic of balance. Nice segue there. Nice segue. So there has been 2020, as Jessok said, had quite a significant amount of balance updates. There was a lot of balance changes, especially to things like Succession and Awakening. The balancing act between the two, we had a nice chart that showed everything. Zerkers were balanced in the Awakening and Succession thing. 50%, 50%-ish. But, you know, if you're going to be balanced in one thing. But, you know, it showed that there is still work to do to, you know, balance out Succession and Awakening to make them comparable with each other. That's the idea, is to not make it so one class has to go one class has to go the other. The idea is to make it relatively, you know, roughly equivalent, and it is a choice. So with that said, there's still things to be coming, such as the bond skills that people would probably put in there, which would be core skills. Those are planned to launch on console next year. Things like those kind of skills, and maybe another Awakening skill, or, you know, certain things are planned to be added. And there has been a lot of feedback, and we continue to get feedback, and we will continue to use that to push the balancing efforts forwards, and continue to go forwards. There was a statement that, like, we don't want to nerf classes too much. We want to buff the weaker ones, but when we have to nerf, we will nerf. So, you know, we get a lot of feedback where people say, like, it's broken, it's OP, and then they just bounce.
Yeah.
That doesn't help as much as having people who, you know, give those frame issues and things. And we do raise it. We do present it to the developers. We don't just we don't take what you give us and go, yeah, okay, and eat it that way as we go talk to we actually do show the developers. We talk about it with the developers. We talk about the issues that people have with certain classes. And we do all of this because it's our jobs, as well as the fact that we want to make the classes better too. Especially, you know, it's not just the classes we play. We want to make everyone, like, you know, as happy as possible. That's basically what we do. One of the things, elevation issues, I don't know how many people would have noticed this, but if you play a Shy, you will know that if anything is on a slightly higher plane of existence, it doesn't exist to your Florang. We're planning on fixing that. We're not sure when. It has been particularly tricky, but it should be soon. That's the one thing we get there. Also, optimization is happening on console and on PC. So optimization efforts are game-wide, which will help PC. It will help PC in the way that it'll bring down the frame rate dependency of classes like Warrior. And for us, it'll bring us up to a point where, frame rates should be better.
And when we say that, I'll touch on that slightly. The optimization efforts haven't solely been the Thanos snapping. There have been other things behind the scenes as well, and we're trying to apply a lot of the techniques that we applied on console to
have them been applied on PC,
and the things on PC to be applied on us, like in terms of optimization.
The audio one was applied to us first,
yeah,
and it improved certain things.
Yeah.
So then it was put on PC.
Now,
it's a collaborative effort when it comes to optimization.
Now, the other thing that we wanted to talk about in terms of, optimization efforts was that there's a lot of things that, I won't say names, but they were saying that certain options, if we added them to console, right, like certain minor features, it seemed to have helped on PC. So that has been an ongoing conversation, and I think the person knows who I'm talking about, but that has been an ongoing conversation, and we do bring that up every chance we get in terms of like the maps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We've been trying to bring that up as much as we can. I think with the Calpheon ball out of the way, and unfortunately because of COVID restrictions, but we can still kind of get a hold of them. We'll try and talk about it from there.
Yep. Also, one thing someone did bring up, don't cap frames at 60 frames per second. And this was directly brought up in the thing. That would be the easy fix, but it's not the fix they're looking to do because it would be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something... Okay, essentially, word for word, it's an easy fix if we just limited everyone to 60 frames per second in PvP. However, it's not something we want to do. And we're looking to optimize frame rates in other ways to make frame rates less of an issue when it comes to skills. Okay, that's generally the balance stuff. We're not getting Seasons with Nova. Seasons is for PC. We're not getting them yet. Essentially.
Faded and Croc, what are you guys talking about? Croc is talking about how he doesn't have a beard on his Archer. Faded's like, my witch can grow a better beard than your Archer. And people are going, burn. Some of y'all are weird, man. I love you guys, but some of y'all are weird.
I mean, it's fair. Archers can't grow facial hair.
Pretty much.
You need sunlight to grow facial hair. Everyone knows that.
From YouTube, how many crons we getting from the ball? A lot.
I think it was 1,300.
No, we're not saying a number because we don't know the exact number. People are going to hold us to it.
It is more than one and less than 1 million. It's somewhere in that range, but I believe definitely 1,000. There's definitely 1,000 given. We got 300, whereas PC got Kafras.
1,600.
No,
that's what people in chat are saying. They did the numbers.
Shh. We don't want to give true numbers. All right, 1,300-ish. 1,300. Maybe more. Maybe it is 1,600. I can't remember. But it's over there. It's over 1,000. Okay, right. On the website, they said 1,300. They might have been not adding the other 300 because I think that was translated by... I think that was the PC notice that they used. Because we got to put everything out together. Okay. Was there something else that we wanted to talk about here? The Winter Termian event. Yes. Winter Termian event is coming. We did touch on it slightly. But... it may be spec'd out depending on how it affects performance and depending on what happens. So that's why we're not too over the top going at it. It should be in, but it might get removed. Okay, right. Content-wise, we're looking at making the story better and more immersive and finding better ways to tell stories within Black Desert. That's something that, we've been pushing a lot. It's something I actually go and ask the story team because I care about the story and I like to write things like the lores for some of the characters. I haven't done it for a while, but I do like... I did the Ninja Pre-Awakening lore. I worked with them. I wrote it, sent it to them, and, we got it through. So that's stuff I like to do. But the story system, we're looking at adding more stories. The Thornwood Castle is something we do want to add as well, which is PvP. We'll see how it goes. What's the other things to mention here? Trading is going to get a look at. I think that was it. Oh, the other one was classes. So, Jessok also mentioned that we're not against adding Dwarf and the Papu class, which Papu is basically an otter, and you may get your dying wish.
Yep.
But, you know, we're not against it, but we want to add it in a tactful way, and we're looking for ideas, was what they said. Like, we're looking for more ideas on what classes. Also, treasure items. So, like your Ornette Spirits Essences, your treasure maps. We're looking for, you know, if you have an idea of an item that we could make like that, a treasure item, please let us know, and we can suggest things, and we can ask people.
There was quite a few that people had already suggested, and then, what was one of them? One of them was...
Doom Donkey. No.
Doom Donkey's a no.
No. All right. I'm going to bring it up, because I think Wazy is watching. Right. We asked for the Doom Donkey. We asked a lot. We as we said, we're friends with Jessok. We showed him all the fan art of Doom Donkeys. All of it. Including the stuff we probably shouldn't show someone who's higher up in the company. We showed it all. He liked the idea, and then he went away, and then he came back and said, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
Doom Donkey, rest in peace. 2020 to 2020. You will be sorely missed.
It won't. But it unfortunately did not go through. But I will say that one of the other treasure ideas that someone came up with was like, what about a certain type of accessory? Or he doesn't think it's possible. It's a no.
It was a 98% no.
No,
I'm
right?
gonna say it was a 98. It was a 98% no, but I'm still gonna ask for the 2% chance, because you never know. Sometimes you just throw that dim tree armor at 50 fail stacks with a 2% chance and it hits.
It's 100% no right now from him. That percentage may, so there's still a chance. Jesus. So it's 100% no from him. I will still give fan art that is good. And I'll try to convince him otherwise.
So, okay, one of the other things was...
But let me talk about the treasure first.
I was talking about mounts.
I'm gonna talk
that
about
was
the
my
treasure.
segue.
Well, we're going back to this. Treasure thing was that's the one, right? The triple float fishing rod. The repairable triple float.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a really good idea. I've asked for it. I'll bring it up again today, because I believe we have a meeting today as well. So we'll talk about that one. But that was one of the many ideas that we got. So, I mean, let's see if it happens.
I set myself up to move into the mounts discussion, and you go and do that. Because I was going to say, all right, maybe Doom Donkey is dead. But there are plans. I have to try and find out where it was in here. There are plans to, not really plans, but they are looking at, like, you know, experimenting with new mounts. And the idea would be, we make it, we try it, we see how it goes on our side, what we can do with it, and then if it's good, we'll release it. If not, we won't. Because a lot of the stuff that we do develop, we try it out, and it's not as good as you thought it was going to be. So that's where ideas do die sometimes, or, you know, someone will pick it up and they'll build on it and things like that. So there is this idea that maybe we can do more with mounts, and, you know, they're discussing it, and we'll see how it goes. But hopefully we get those dope sand crabs that live in Mekon that they say they ride, because they are cool. Those armored sand crabs you get in Mekon, I need it. I need it in my life. But flying mounts, most likely not.
Most likely.
Because they also mentioned things like having your own hot air balloon or having your own airship. It's probably a no. But mounts is something that we are looking into, and Ferrica Bird is one of them. That's one of the things that I actually kind of do want. But then, you know, it has to be yellow, and it has to be fat. And when you run, it has to play a dope song.
You wait.
He's not listening to
No,
me.
because someone's like, you get sand crab mounts, but no Doom Donkey.
I mean, it's only fair, man. It's only fair. Yeah, you weren't listening to what I was saying.
I heard music, and I was like, I'm already out of this.
Some people get it. Because I was like, okay, we can have the Ferrica if it's fat, yellow, and it plays dope music. I'm joking.
We're not that company. We're not that company.
Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong place. But no, legitimately, it is something they're looking into. So yeah. But no, I'm not saying it's coming. I'm saying, as I said, with the whole mount discussion, they're looking into it. They'll test it. They'll see how it plays. If it doesn't play well, they'll take it back to the drawing board. Nothing is confirmed. As we said, this is the more experimental side of what was talked about in the Calpheon Ball. But it would be awesome. If you get a Doom Donkey before you get your beard, man, do you not grow a beard, Croc? That's a shame. It's a shame. You just got to stop shaving. It works like a charm. Okay, people asking for things like the tag system, a few of the other things. It's something we are looking to bring when we can. I'm not going to say it's guaranteed for this time, but it is something we are very aware of. It is something that we know that you want. It is something that we have talked to Jessok, saying, like, a lot of people keep asking us about this. Can we have an answer? And it's like, we're not sure yet when or how we would implement it for console, but we know. So we're not sure when, but please pray. Oh, RNGesus, please. But yeah. And okay, the last things.
Sorry, we keep getting. Jesus, I'm gonna talk about this again. So we keep getting Secret Quest questions. No.
We still have no information about it.
We just haven't. It isn't. So, oh, actually, you know, I'll touch on that. So Secret Quest stuff. No. It's Secret Quest stuff and Shy stuff, right? There is a perception that the more I spam it, the minute I stop spamming it, it means that they're not gonna listen to me anymore. Which is disappointing to read that. The one thing I'll say about the Secret Quest stuff, there hasn't been further information about it, and as I've said before, me and Sherna are not the ones to give that information. Specifically about Secret Quest. We are not the ones to give that information. Not myself, not Sherna, not Valterra, not Delphi, anyone. It should come from an official notice on the website. That's it. When that information comes in, we'll post it on Discord. And that's not like, look, this is what's happening. This is what we get, right? And in regards to Shy-related things, right? As I've mentioned to multiple people through DMs and in streams as well, like going into people's streams, it has to be an ongoing conversation. It has been an ongoing conversation. These things like, and I'll bring up the Capture the Flag thing, right? Capture the Flag Community Week happened at the beginning of, a late end of 2019. Right? And to get that rolling and to make sure that these things are happening and to push on it, it has been a process to go through. It's never going to be instantaneous. And I'm sorry for saying it like that.
I just want to point out as well, like, one of the things we were asked was to try and run a actual Capture the Flag in the game. as is. Like, just we were approached. Hey, could you try to run a GM event where it is capture the flag? And even if it's jank, could you do it? And we actually tried on test servers to set up like a field and to set up like a map that we could do it on. Unfortunately, we weren't really able to get it to a level that we weren't even able to get it to the low level that we expect. And that's a low bar when it comes to GM events. I mean, you've seen some of the CM events that we've run. It's a low bar. We couldn't get it past that. So, you know, we went to him and we said, like, look, man, we couldn't get it done, but it's still a dope idea. And then it built from there. Okay, yeah. I think most of the Calpheon Bowl, there was a lot. I would recommend everyone to go watch it.
The event itself?
The actual event.
I thought
over the dice.
I thought the guy on the left would have been fired after his kid jokes at the Calpheon Ball.
Hey, man.
You came from PC.
Hey, man. Right, grinding up kids for Crown Stones.
Dude.
Don't do it. It's not good, but there is a reason I have 3 pens.
There's a couple other things I want to say. Because Kensei talked about it as well, but someone was also asking, like, are you guys CMs or GMs? Like I said before, the
role itself is fluid.
Yeah. And I'll speak on the console team, and I'll pull back the curtain a bit. The console team roles have been, as Sharon said, quite fluid. Like, you'll kind of go in and out of different roles. I prefer the title of CM as opposed to GM, only because the CM is also related to money, and I like money, so that's kind of nice.
I was gonna say, like, you know, alphabetical order. It means we're on top. Big brain thinking. That is big brain thinking.
I have to be careful what I say next. Can you talk about Doom? Trent will try to drown Doom. I would. I really would. Are you going to stay as console CMs given PC's recent publishing announcement? So that was one of the things that came up, was that let's not do that. One of the Profit, that is not a comment to have.
What did he say?
We're not saying it.
What did he write?
Profit, not okay, dude, not okay.
Not okay.
In terms of our roles within the company, I don't know. I don't think so. Like, legitimately speaking, and I say this after venting publicly and somewhat being unprofessional on this, working with this community has been dope. Like, a lot of the stuff that we're getting has been inspired by our community. A lot of the anger and frustrations that have come out have led us to rethink how we approach certain topics. One thing you will have to understand, or what I want you guys to remember, is the way that we have been communicating with you guys through streams and Discord and stuff wasn't a thing for a while. Like, prior to console, that wasn't honestly a thing. And you guys helped shape it and shape how we communicate with you guys and how open we could be. Because for those of you who are asking for more transparency, prior to the launch of console, that wasn't a thing. They're not angry at... Who's not angry?
We're just concerned. Yeah.
I'm concerned?
Yeah, we're not angry at people. We're concerned for their well-being.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so one of the things is, like, how do you take into account the life skillers?
Yeah.
When looking at gear score, we would look, obviously, at things like life skill levels and go, okay, this person is mostly into life skill. So, okay, cool. The data presented was the gear score percentages. That's not the whole picture. Like, we never presented it as, this is the whole picture. Like, this is how we decide everything. We would look at it and go, okay, well, this guy, clearly, he is guru in everything. He's a life skiller. We would look at that data. We would take it out, and we would go, okay, this person's a life skiller. This person's not. This person does go out and kill monsters. What is his gear score? What you saw was the surface level of data interpretation. There is a lot more beneath the surface. It is like an iceberg, what you see at the top and what you see underneath. We showed the data and talked a little bit, but there is legitimately a lot of research and interpretation that goes into said data. It's not like we just look at it and go, oh man, like 80% of our people have 0 gear score. Like, clearly we have to slow things down. No, because we know that they're 0 gear score because they don't have a weapon equipped. You think we didn't think that through? I could have took off all my gear and really messed with those numbers. No, it's actually all looked at.
I do want to say that when we talk about statistics, there's people who have studied statistics that do that, and to make sure that it happens. Are you still a CM for mobile, or are you console? I'm only on console now. The mobile team has a really good team, and I think if I suddenly entered that team dynamic, I'd ruin everything.
I also want to say, like, for the PC side of things, I know you told me not to, but the one thing they did bring up was that graph. Mm-hmm. And if that's the one thing they legitimately, memed on for the whole event, I feel pretty good that we didn't mess it up.
Legitimately.
Legitimately, one graph out of 3 hours of footage of me and you talking about Black Desert, and the one thing that was focused on was the graph. We did it. That's how I knew I did a good job. I didn't need people to say, like, yo, Sherna Trent, thank you for doing it.
Yeah.
All I saw was we weren't the discussion. We win.
And on that note, I'll also say that certain people were asking, I'm not saying a majority of you or even 50% of you or whatever, right? Some people were asking, like, why don't you and Sherna make more content and maybe do a behind-the-scenes thing or do this kind of content or this kind of video and stuff. The reason why I don't want to, is I'm more hesitant about it, is because I'm not a content creator. You guys are.
Yeah.
We're not content creators, and I think that by us trying to fulfill that role either takes away from you guys or we're not doing our job properly, because we're community managers. Our job is to talk about the game and, talk with the community about the game. We're not here to promote ourselves. So while it would be kind of fun to do content, like video contents of like us just kind of like shooting the breeze a bit, or talking with the partners or talking with other streamers and stuff, I never want it to be just us as a focus. So yeah.
Okay, I think that's the breakdown of Calpheon Ball plus a little bit of Q&A. But legitimately, if you have questions, now would be the time to ask. Obviously, we are 2 people and we have to talk about it, so we are going to miss...
This wasn't the Q&A?
No, that was... Because we haven't even put the coupon code up yet for console.
Snap. Okay.
That was the Calpheon Ball wrap-up. Plus,
oh my God.
Plus a little bit of Q&A.
Okay.
But,
so one thing is, before we do it... Kasha, don't you dare!
Yes! That's who wears the pants in this working relationship.
But I'm on top.
Okay, make sure you enter new class Nova soon. Console only coupon code. It is console.playblackdesert.com/coupon. That link might not actually work anymore. I hope it does. I can't remember.
It does.
It still does. We don't unfortunately have a PC code. Because we are the community stream, because we are the console stream, we only have rights to create stuff for console. We don't have anything to give to everyone. But remember, it's Christmas tomorrow, because we're getting a ton of stuff after maintenance. But for console, that starts 1 hour earlier. It starts at 9 p.m. PST, because there's some other things that have to be done. Do you like that segue, Kashima? That was for you, buddy. What was I going to say? What was I talking about?
Oh, yeah, you wear the pants, do you? You don't even know where the pants are.
Okay, so yeah, the console coupon code is there. Maintenance for console NA only, not EU, will start 1 hour earlier. All right, is Garmoff staying as a world boss? Not right now. As we said, we're going to bring him down, bring it down. It's a her,
Her.
right? Bring her down. We're gonna, fix a few things, take a look at the data that happened, see if we can change anything about it, and then we plan to reintroduce it again. The idea is to, add it eventually. The end game is stale, right? If you rushed to the end game, cool. There is things that we have to do between here and then. We are planning, as I said, to bring things like Star's End and Sicaria. We're working on bringing those in. But when there's issues with them, we can't just throw it in and say like, oh, look, it works perfectly fine. Enjoy your 3 frames per second in Sicaria. We're working on it.
I won't say who said this, but while I say I agree with this person, I do understand the other side of the argument.
Yeah.
Which was, there's a lot of people who, and some people are saying it right now, before I continue, wow, PC doesn't get a code. This is unfortunately just a console stream. You're free to ask questions from PC if you'd like, and hopefully we can answer something here. But console rules supreme here.
This is our turf.
Right. During the Calpheon Ball, I do want to touch on this. During the Calpheon Ball on the Black Desert Online Twitch channel, some people were like, look at these 2 people, console clowns. And some of you guys rose to our defense and defended me. Thank you.
Just defended you, yeah.
They defended both of us, but they were like, those are our plebs. And thank you.
We're happy to serve as your plebs.
Yes, but this is the console coupon. For any other PC coupon related stuff, it should be on the PC website.
I had to take the Tims off. I wanted to sit with my legs on the.
Oh, that's fair.
Because now the coupon code's here, I can sit cross-legged on the stream, and no one can see.
Yeah.
And I got to stretch
so
the legs.
I'll go back to the endgame stuff because Glory is also kind of talking about it, so is everyone else. So there are people who, even though it's been 2 years it's going to be 2 years on Xbox.
Yep.
There are people who reached endgame-ish every time an update dropped. Like, every time. So when we went from try to pen, when we released certain types of boss, when we released this, when we released this area, people went at it. There's also a group of people who are finally getting there, right? And even though it seems finally to you, for the in terms of like the game in general, I think everyone just kind of works at their pace for that most part. And I know because I said that, people are like, well, why don't you just give us car rest? That way I can work at my pace. They'll work at their pace. We're still kind of being careful about that. In terms of details as to what Jesang님's looking into and what the entire design team, so Jesangnim, Jaehinim, Jesangnim, and weirdly enough, we're involved in those meetings. We will kind of keep going on from there and keep checking from there. Now, the details regarding those meetings can't really share. Glory, like I know what you're saying. I get that, and that's been a part of the conversation. When I say these things, it isn't you're either A or B. I get that there's a
spectrum, a range.
Yeah, there's a range of things to kind of go in through there. And I absolutely understand that part. It's part of the thing. And not like, Glory, like, I'm not upset at you, and I know you're not, like, malicious in your questions.
That was good back and forth. That was a good bit of tennis.
I know it's not malicious in that sense. There are others who are malicious, but I know you're not. So it is a good conversation. Thank you for that.
Okay, I'll take over a little bit.
Okay.
Someone asked me before the stream started, what would you call a bread roll? It is a cob, and yes, I would like a cuppa. Okay, so where is it? I saw another one that I wanted to answer. That was the most important question I think I've ever seen, though. Okay, so what do endgame players do? when, you know, they're waiting for things to progress. So this is something that you'll see in not just our game, but in a lot of games. And PC players, the PC players who are joining us would know this probably better than most, is that development takes time. PC didn't always have Valencia, didn't always have Medea. So they got to end game. They got to the end game, like the end game spots and the end game stuff, and they had to wait. And then they got to the end game spot again, and they had to wait. And they got to the end game spot again, and they had to wait. The gap between Kama and Drigan was what, 1 year and a half on PC? Our gap between Kama and Drigan on console was 3 or 4 months. It wasn't that long at all.
After crossplay, you mean?
After crossplay.
Yeah, because Kama came out for Xbox.
Before that.
Yeah.
But then crossplay happened, it came for PlayStation, and then it was 2 or 3 months. So let's say in total it was about 5 months, maybe. It pushes. And then it goes back, and we catch up, and then we push, and then we catch up, and we push and catch up. But development takes time. And it's not just, we can't just develop for the end spots. We can't just push the end card forward, because we have to, you know, put things in the middle. We have to put things in, you know, life skillers have to do things. There's more than just the end game grind players. And we are trying to, you know, help those people to continue to progress. And we're trying to, you know.
When did PC get Kama? After the launch?
Kama after launch?
Yeah. Because, like,
I 3 years?
Because I get what Swan's saying, right? And I'm sorry, I do have to use the name on this one. Like, I get what you're saying, that with Kama, this came, like, Cat First came with it. But, Swan, and you've been here since the beginning, man. If we sat on Valencia or Kama Sylvia for 3 years, like, do you see what I mean?
Valencia, like, they sat on Valencia for a very long time, which meant, you know, their progression has not been as kind of. They also had PC also had the benefit of learning the game and finding new stuff. So as things were added to help them progress further, you know, new knowledge was being discovered and then shared. There are people on console who know that content, who know PC style, and they catapult themselves. We've seen. We've recently been watching a guy who legitimately picked up the game for the very first time, and watching him play is very, very different. It's you're taking that knowledge and catapulting yourself forwards. They're still trying to grasp the basics, and of course, like, you know, the mid section of players. I've been spending a lot of time reading Luna Halo In, which has a good mix of beginning players, middle players, returning players, and then there's a few veterans in there. If you've been in that chat at all, you would easily see why not everybody is catapulting themselves super far forwards. Like, some guy was talking to me a few days ago and was like, you know, he wasn't talking to me, he was talking to the chat about, like, you know, I'm grinding at this place. The trash is really slowing me down. I have to keep running to town. And I was like, in my head, I was thinking, well, dude, horse stacking exists. Someone brings it up. Yo, why don't you stack horses? What's stacking horses? Oh, the guy had gotten 2 blood wolves without knowing to stack horses. And I mean,
and before some of you laugh, one of our partners didn't know for the very, very long time.
Which one would that be?
He has no need for accuracy.
Was it you?
I'm not saying
really?
He don't need accuracy, all right? He didn't know for a long time. Look, I'm not putting anybody out there.
More accuracy, chat.
Look, I'm not putting anybody out there.
Oh, okay. What's stacking horses? Stacking horses. All right, I'll explain this. Actually, there's something I wanted to.
No, okay. So I went into his stream.
Dude, I was gonna tell people how to do it.
Go for it.
All right. So stacking horses. You put your horse somewhere safe. You go to your horse. You put your trash loot on it. You run back, you grind some more. When you get full again, you go back to your horse, take out from your mount all the trash loot, and then put it all back in as one stack. If it's one stack, it will go over its weight. So that's how you do it. And there's also something I know not many people know that I am going to show. So where's your controller?
True is correct, though. It wasn't like specifically about stacking. It was selling from the horse.
Oh, okay.
Which is part of the stacking part. But I get that. I absolutely get it. So a lot of people didn't know that. Not many people know that. I thought you literally meant stack horses.
Like on top of each other? That would be hilarious. Okay, right. Actually, there is one thing I want to show people because I don't know if this is actually well known.
Yeah.
Kashima, are you still there? Turn off the coupon, switch to Trent. This might blow some minds, right? We've all seen this circle. I don't know how many people know what this circle means, and I only figured this out a few days ago, so we all learned something new. That circle is amity. That is your amity. You see the little ... That's new options. You see those little question marks? That's knowledge. So you talk and wave to them. Oh man, I don't have the energy. But the bar will go round and it will be orange. I can't do it to you. Who can I do it to?
You guys say that we knew this. And how could you not know this? There's a lot of people that don't, dude. Legitimately.
So the blue bar will turn orange as your amity increases, and when it hits that question mark, it'll go up. There are people who don't know. There are people who do know. I did not know. The bar is blue to start with. It turns orange. There we go.
Yeah.
Didn't realize, and yes, I did realize. Yeah, some people will know. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. Which is fair. It took me a long time. But we all learned something new. This is the point. We're not all knowing everything. Not everybody knows absolutely everything. Therefore, just because you're at the endgame spot doesn't mean everyone else can catapult themselves as quickly as you do.
For some people, it's new. For a lot of people, you probably already know about it. But, I mean, it's kind of nice that people learn new things, which is, and it's always nice to see that on stream when you get to see something new.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The Mysterious Night event, is it going to continue or is it done?
I believe it's done. I have to double check the dates. It's been a while since I looked at that.
As other people said, I just never cared enough to know. But now you know.
There's no end date announced to the Mysterious Night thing, so I assume it'll keep going for now until told otherwise.
Thank you for that, Kashima, for following that.
Would you like us content creators to pool our knowledge together and release guides, etc. on these topics?
If you want to.
I don't see why not. There was someone that was saying this. I think it was... I won't say the names. Someone was saying that, look, console guide videos and stuff have been lacking. There's a niche in there. I think you can fill that void and go for it. Yeah, I know, Glory, right? I didn't want to say your name without it, but I think that is a void, and you guys should do that. I think for me, and this is something that me and Sherna have been talking about, us making these videos, I think takes away from content creators. And I always felt very uneasy about that. When we first launched on Xbox, we were joking in terms of Nodes or Siege, what if we did like a podcast or a recap or bring the leaders together? But that was met with kind of a fervor from content creators because that's their shtick. And I absolutely agree. We were wrong in saying that. And I've never really wanted to touch that.
Lore videos on the game are lacking. I mean, lore videos might be, but there are Bibles out there on the lore of the game.
We have a lore group. You should definitely check out the lore group. But I think even in terms of the partner podcast, which I highly recommend, by the way, you guys should definitely join in on those partner podcasts. I think it's after every update or once a week or so. Go check them out. Have your conversations. and I like listening to it. I don't like participating in those podcasts because that's their space.
Someone said partner podcast with CMs when.
If they invite us, I'll try and make the arrangements for it. I've never wanted to
Just putting it out there, it might be a little bit easier when we work from home than in the office.
Fair. I never wanted to take their space away from them, and that's their space. Like, you guys know this too. I think Bates is in chat right now, but when I jump into someone's Twitch stream as like a viewer, their audience, the way that they speak changes, right? Because they'll be talking about some really weird stuff, and then when I pop in, they're like,
"Oh, how long have you been sitting here?"
Yeah, you know.
Can we have the coupon back up?
Yes, please. So yeah, I think lore videos. If you guys want to jump in on that, if you guys need help with it, you know, ask us.
Someone said, like, is the lore as good as the Nova stuff? And honestly, the Nova story, I think there still hasn't been a lot announced about it, but the story is actually really cool. The story of the game is really cool. It just, the presentation has been an issue for a while, which was brought up in the Calpheon Ball. We want to find ways to stop the A spam, X spam, R spam. So we're looking at ways to improve storytelling.
Yeah, because there's a lot of like, here, put it together, but you can't really completely put it together yet.
One of the reasons, okay, for those who aren't aware of the full history of Black Desert lore and story.
Before you go on, can you answer one question?
Yeah.
Can you explain the Jace Hammer really quickly for someone on YouTube?
So Jace Hammer is basically a free crone attempt, but it will work on any gear. Tet and Pen, I believe that we have right now. It'll work on Tet attempts and Pen attempts. But recommended, save it for boss gear. Also, if you're on PC, because I know a lot of PC players have joined us today, and we thank you for that, it will work on any Black Star attempt. I believe. Don't crucify me on that one, but I believe it will work on anything above Duo. Anything above Pry for Black Star. But I'm not 100% sure. But yeah.
You're talking about story.
Story. God, I completely lost my track.
I'm so sorry, dude.
Yeah. So we do want to, like, you know, improve the way that the story has been told, because the way we tell the story hasn't been the greatest. And me personally, I thought it was better when we launched. Because we had the whole text nicely presented. But it did make issues in the fact that the game is designed around these conversational pieces, so it didn't make sense because we didn't switch from one to the other. And the amount of work recoding just... So when we redid the... when we launched on console and we had that new window, I was part of the team who would take all the lore and then try to make it fit in those windows. I wasn't the only one. I was only helping out when I could. There were people who dedicated 3 months to doing that. To trying to make it fit in the box and, you know, expanding on the story a little bit and checking that. It was at that point, after we launched Media, where someone went, you know, if we do this for everything, it's going to, you know, delay everything. So there was a change eventually to make it more, you know, more flowy than, you know, the one that we had.
Doab and Lugi, I saw this suggestion. I'll try and bring it up in my next meeting, actually. Both of them are really good.
Someone's saying that I'm kinder than you.
That makes sense.
That is amazing in that, you know, we've completely swapped roles today.
I think it's because I vented so hard, and I'm so sorry for being unprofessional.
We've always been yin and yang.
Yeah.
So it's always been like, if he's getting heated, I'll be chill. If I'm heated, he's chill. It's just how it goes.
There was one time we did a stream. Sorry, this is off topic. We did a stream with Petra from Shadow.
Yeah.
And that's when we were both yin and yin. We just attacked her, which is fun. Right?
The spear and the black bolt, they are quest items. You can probably just lob them at this point. You could just throw them away. The Black Sun Star thing, I mean, I don't think it comes up ever again. I think those items were supposed to be removed.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't. So you could probably just lob it. If it is important, you'll be able to get it back through sending a ticket and saying, yo, it's bust.
Our plebs. Dude, during the Captain Ball, that was awesome.
For the new character, the maximum number of
increases.
slots will increase. You could probably tell from my reaction the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're trying, like, we help everyone. The golden eagle Tatala necklace. Sell it. I think it's supposed to just be a way to give 30 mil silver that isn't just giving you the silver. The reason we don't just give the silver is because a 0 here and a 0 there missing. Also, silver used to be weighted.
Yeah.
So when it had weight, if we sent you 30 million silver, good luck running to the storage. Y'all ain't moving. So those changes, but we still do it because it's just an easier way to transfer the money.
Do you guys know about the skill timers not resetting?
Yes, it's being looked into. We don't know what's causing it. You can hit a ring menu and it will instantly reset.
For the most part right now, what it seems to be, and I'll kind of talk about it a little bit, what it seems to be is that if you load in and you quickly use a skill that has a cooldown timer of it's not that like beyond a certain point, it's more like in between a certain area. That's when it kind of locks up a bit. So you use a ring menu skill and then it kind of goes from there. So I think it's been reported. I got the videos for it. We're gonna try and take a look into it. Maybe I think after this update, we're gonna revisit that issue again.
Also, my map won't show. You might have turned it off in the settings. So go to your settings, edit UI, and make sure you turn it on back there. Okay, there's been a lot of talk, and I'm going to say this now. There's been a lot of talk that Guardian and Nova are essentially the same class, right? First off, it's not the normal shield that you will see. It is not the normal shield. It has its own shield. It is a tower shield. Its name escapes me at this point, but it begins with an O or a U or Q. Quatum.
Oh. I can only say with the Korean pronunciation. I'm sorry.
Don't know what it is. But that's the shield. It is a different shield. And the mace, the Morning Star, is her own. They're not going to share those. Then the fact that she's slow and she's like kind of defensive. And then people are like, yo, that's the Guardian. I mean, yeah, I can see that. I can see that, but they're not as skinned. I could see if someone was like, yo, Valkyrie and Nova, you might have a case. Because they carry the same weight, as in their body style is the same. I could see that. Guardian, man.
Some of you who are staying up with us from the EU, yo, man, if you want to go to sleep, go to sleep. If you want to have some questions and talk with us, more than welcome to. But,
you can always reach us on Discord and DM us. I don't know how many times we have to say this.
Right. So I got a few messages about it, and I get it because I'm kind of bad with my DM sometimes, where I have to kind of.
It takes time.
Yeah. But there's always new users that will come into Discord and be like, "Yo, I'm really sorry. I don't know if I'm allowed to message you or not. I don't know if this is like okay. Please don't delete my character," kind of thing. And it's just like, no, you're more than welcome to speak.
Yeah. Someone said, I don't know about that. Someone said like the Guardian will be immune from the cold in the winter area. What about Nova because she's ice type?
Nah, she still feels chilly.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I would assume, much like Hashashin, it's designed as a trait of that character. I don't think it has much to do with the fact that ice. She could probably still freeze to death, even though she uses ice magic. Because I use fire magic. Am I on fire right now? No. Just because you can use the magic doesn't mean it gives you a buff or a boon. You can shoot fire out your hand.
No, hold on. If you can shoot fire out your hand.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean my body is fire, does it?
But you're immune to fire.
It doesn't mean I'm immune to fire.
Then if you shot
But
fire,
I'm
you'd
using
burn.
magic. I'm using magic. It comes from the air around it. It comes from the magic fields of the universe. So,
Look,
all right. Put it this way: you watch
talking like
Avatar.
this-
You watch Avatar. The people who do water bending and snow bending and all that shit. Sorry, language. They still wear woolly coats
Yeah.
because they get cold, but they have ice magic.
Oh, fair.
Amateurs.
But they don't need to. Like, I've seen,
Amateurs.
but it's Aang going on their
Oh,
own.
Aang. I'm not talking
Yeah.
about Aang. I'm talking about the ones who live there.
But
the
they're-
ones who could still do the magic. And they
One,
still wear woolly coats.
It's not magic. 2, they're bending it. They're not creating it. You do not create fire.
But you
bend
don't
around
create
it.
fire when you use... It depends on the way that magic works. We're not obviously sure about that.
Yeah, because we're
But-
speaking like we have scientific knowledge on this.
But
we don't.
We don't. But it's just because you can use it, even in Dungeons and Dragons and stuff
Yeah.
like that, just because you're using it doesn't mean you have resistance to it. You're firing it out from a point.
You're more resistant to it, but you're not immune to it.
You don't necessarily more immune to it. It's not like
No,
she
no,
sets
more
her
resistant.
Yeah, but it's not like she sets herself on ice, is it? She shoots it out the mallet or out the shield. I can't remember which one she does, but she shoots it out of those.
Yeah.
She doesn't shoot it out of fingertips. So just because the magic courses through her veins doesn't mean it's in her veins, which is why I have a problem with Frozen. I have a problem with Frozen
I agree
because
with the Nova argument.
Yeah.
I don't agree with Frozen. Though.
because Frozen, she should still be able to feel the cold, and she should have died of hypothermia when she was in that water. And then she goes to the Arctic where it's all
Dude,
cold.
spoilers.
No, Frozen 2, man. No, Frozen is great. Frozen 2 is amazing. But I disagree with the way that they do magic.
Anyone
she doesn't get cold.
Sorry. Discord link. Discord.gg/playblackdesert. Go. No, like, I get it. Like, Nova, if the ice comes from the mallet, because there'll be lore,
The Morning Star.
that makes sense to me.
The mallet.
Right?
I can just imagine her walking around with like the Donkey Kong mallet. The Game & Watch mallet. Okay. The Awakening and Suck 2 weeks later. I'm not 100% sure. Whatever dates were announced in the bowl would be the ones. I don't think we talked about Awakening and Succession.
No, we
So I
didn't.
don't know when it will be. The 2 weeks thing is when that is already developed. So, for example, the way that we did Awakening on console was a Ninja Awakening would be 2 weeks after because we have it, it's already ready. We're just testing it to make sure it's okay. This one, there might be more development work needed to do. There might be more balancing work needed to do on it. So, yes. We're from Pearl Abyss. We're from Pearl Abyss.
And again, discord.gg/playblackdesert. Someone was saying that, dude, she's the Ice Queen. That is not a reason
No.
to be immune. Like, Louis XIV was the Sun King. But if he goes walking into the sun, that's the last tanning session he'll ever have.
I was going to say something about, he might have been the king and kings are anointed by gods, but apparently the guillotine is also anointed by God because it just chops off French kings' heads. That's what
what
they're
we do.
for. Yeah. Can we get the console 2021 roadmap? So it's something that I do want to put out. We can't put dates, but everything we talked about in the bowl, 90% of that is planned. Also, things like character tag system is planned. Star's End, the Sicaria, that kind of stuff is all planned for next year-ish.
Yeah.
We don't have dates to give because there might be issues with it, but we're planning to bring it around. Like the stuff from the bowl, we're planning to bring when it comes to when around the time of PC, if we can. Other content we're planning to slot around this and move it in.
Yeah.
We don't have full dates. We'll try to bring a roadmap if we can, but it won't include everything. It will not include everything.
I think the one thing we have to keep stressing is that the roadmap is a guide, but there are things that it's not the only things we're looking at. There are other things that can be added with it. One of the other questions I wanted to see was, are we ever going to be able to see active buffs? It's something to be worked on. I think it'll eventually show up in the profile tab. The other one was... Oh, where'd it go? Oh, no, YouTube, why?
Sorry.
I missed it. Pet grouping. Pet grouping is something that I remember it was being worked on, and then there was a slight issue with both platforms. let me get back to you on that,
It's
Faded.
probably like falling down the list somewhere.
Yeah, let me.
We'll
look
check
into
the
that.
sofas for. We'll check the sofas for that. A life skill's coming back with the mobs coming back. That I don't know. From the wording that we get, possibly.
Possibly. Let me.
Life
again, let
skill
me focus into
mastery,
it.
great expedition, things like that. We don't have the dates to give you for those specifically right now. We'll go ask. But again, like in terms of wanting to add things, yeah. It's things that we will be asking. I heard mobs are coming back eventually. We have been working on it for a while, and we have been very open with the fact that we've been working on it for a while.
The shapeshifter druid class thing. Message me, flesh out your idea. Let's see where we go from there. Someone was telling me about a. I hate to bring up Avatar again, based on how I like Earth magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, flesh out those ideas and hit me up with whatever you got.
Go ask now. Sure, I'll go over to his desk and ask him. I'm not asking him for a message.
Someone was also asking about the.
What about hiding pets? Again, we'll slap it.
The
Code for
update.
PC, we don't have one.
How the update's gonna work. So, because Doha and Ozzy were asking about this. So, we get one this week. We get one next week. I don't remember what the update after is because of how do I explain this? If you guys remember from last year, we had like these random cert processes from both Sony and from Microsoft. We had the cert process, one in January, one in February. Coincidentally, that actually worked out for us because we were trying to gear up for crossplay.
Yeah.
Right? However, there was a unscheduled cert check that's established by the platforms. So I'm not entirely sure how that's gonna go. Let me. I want to say that two, but I'm not sure.
While you're doing that, the Oberyn bar, I have asked. I talked to the person who basically was the one who told me that it wasn't in, and I asked when it's coming, and he doesn't know yet, unfortunately. As for the Herald's Journal Part 3, the reason it wasn't in apparently is that it was showing up incorrectly. I'm not sure if that has been fixed yet. They're still going to look into it. But yeah, they're gonna move into it. What was the Tokyo music thing you mentioned? So wait, has that been announced? Was that announced before you announced it?
No, it's been announced.
No, as in, has it been released?
Yeah,
it's been released.
I believe so. No, because it's there's a teaser on the Black Desert YouTube.
Oh yeah, on our YouTube
Yeah.
there is a teaser. Oh yeah, it's not that it's too OP. It just broke the game. For the more Rulipy logs,
So,
dude, like,
I believe it was like Gononim, who's one of the directors of Black Desert, stated that by the end of the year we have another collaboration with coming from our Tokyo office, and you can see the teaser on YouTube. It's kind of like the one that we did with Glay, and it's to celebrate
her name.
Yeah, it's to celebrate the Nova release. So
It
you
is
should check
with
it out.
Harami and Nakashima Mika, the
Yeah,
person who
Mika.
sang Snowflower. Mika.
I recommend it.
Never heard it, but I will listen to
Yeah.
it. Harami is a YouTube channel, is a YouTube pianist.
Yeah.
Give us the Herald's other book so we can get the 80 fail stacks. We're getting a bunch of fail stacks tomorrow anyway. But yeah, it would be nice. I don't think it's in this point.
I'm in a really weird spot now. Someone on YouTube was like, "This is my first time watching the stream, and I really like it. I'm gonna watch every single stream."
Don't go back that far.
You don't wanna.
You
wanna.
you want to if you've got good impressions now, keep
temper
'em.
your expectations. The
And
audio,
anytime there is gameplay, just skip it.
the audio issues, the ones that you saw today, were minor compared to what we usually have. So, please be careful. Oh, the menu option for CP spent.
It's in the game.
Yeah, but it keeps coming up.
So you press start, then you press, I believe, triangle or Y, and it tells you roughly where it's spent. Unfortunately, we don't have everything. I don't think we have a detailed list of it, but it tells you roughly where they are. Let us trade 100 for 270s.
RCNs come with built-in audio issues.
Will there be new login rewards? Yeah, when one finishes, a new one usually starts. The cooldown glitch on alchemy stones. I haven't seen it for a while, but I'll bring it.
Do you
back
mean
up.
the one where the cooldown just stays there? Like it's just an empty box?
Yeah.
I believe it's a graphical one. Can you ask about warehouse functions and storages? From storage?
PC can access the central market from storage. I think there is an issue on console with it. Can't see CP spent on nodes that are not connected because you can't spend CP on a node if it's not connected.
He may not know that, so don't say it like.
No. I was just making sure in myself. That wasn't me.
I was like, you gotta assume the ignorance, you know.
I was, you know when you know something and you have to say, you have to say it in a way where you're not gonna be like, Rah. Will we be getting permanent snow in towns like last year? That will be probably with this Christmas one. The art festival winners have been
They should be announced. Right? Kashima, have they been announced? The art festival winners?
Not right now. Not yet.
The announcement will go up
soon. Death penalty ever coming back? Eventually. I have been begging and pleading to get it added. But if I'm not going to lie, I die quite a bit in Kratuga sometimes because I just get a bit lazy or I'm trying to type to somebody. And it's quite nice knowing I don't lose EXP. But we're trying to get it in. We're trying to get it back.
Yeah.
Can we talk about dungeons and raids, please? Right, raid in Korean is generally used for world bosses.
Yeah.
But there is a plan to, build a
Build
world
onto
boss
that stuff.
with gimmicks and things like that. So kind of like a very large raid. The dungeon that they're planning to bring in, Attraction, we're planning to get it eventually, like around the same time-ish, hopefully.
Yeah.
As long as it works, it'll be an open world dungeon where you will require 3 to 5 people to do certain puzzles or to beat certain things, and we don't really know right now because we haven't seen it. But it does sound like a Black Desert spin on a dungeon.
I will say this because it was brought up during the Calcium Ball and post that like how come no one from console got to win the fan art contest and stuff, right?
Now be very careful because I know what you've said to me. Maintenance will be tomorrow.
I'll keep names out of this. But one of the players that I genuinely love speaking to, and we always have a good time on streams and stuff, is a great graphic designer. And I think that if he or she had entered the contest, they would have won. They're so talented. A lot of people from console, when they did the fan art contest, there were...
Can you put on the Xbox for a second, Kashima, if you're listening?
Yeah.
The other one. You got to swap them around today. Oh.
All right.
It's decided to turn itself off.
Basically,
okay, turn it back on. Yeah.
The reason why we showed that is because that's what console was. We didn't really have as many entries that went into it. I think a lot of people didn't want to, or didn't spend enough, or did not spend enough. The amount of time that they want to invest into the art wasn't conducive to the deadlines that they had.
Someone said memes over quality.
DJ got it already. Knows who I'm talking about. But super talented. A lot of you guys are super talented. I think a lot of people who want to invest that kind of time couldn't meet that deadline, or just didn't have the time to be able to do that based on their IRL circumstances.
Someone said like my Xbox is clear. I'm still moving around in my Xbox's capture card that's decided to poop itself.
And memes. Our console community is very memey.
And very talented.
Very talented in their meminess. If you go to Discord and check. I don't want to even promote this channel.
There was a channel for something, and the artwork there was indicative of what we have seen elsewhere.
I mean, people still posting off topic.
But we didn't even get chance. Yeah. We didn't get to choose.
Yeah.
We just post. We just sent our best, and then you have like.
See,
for the video one, like the video one, we could send our best, but did you see the Ornette Spirit Essence ones?
Oh, the
with they rendered stuff out, and it wasn't, it wasn't.
It was really nicely 3D.
It wasn't copyrighted music. It wasn't,
That was the other thing. Some of you sent videos. Because do you know which videos we got?
Yeah.
There's like about 3 of them, right? And I looked through them. They got songs from Dre.
That can't go in.
Linkin Park.
Can't go in.
Fall Out Boy.
Can't go in.
Why Dre was in there was very confusing, but yes. Because it was just a shy going through the forest and it's just playing Dre Day.
Oh, why was it straight out of Florin? But yeah, like, legitimately, there are issues with that kind of stuff, and I believe it was mentioned in the notice.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately.
Our community is very memey, and I love you guys for it. But you guys enter contests that weren't the contest.
With regions that take it seriously.
Right? So, like I said with pre-creation, Black Desert Online PC and mobile, by the way, they're like, okay, we're going to make the prettiest character possible. And Cons goes, right, buy symmetry off, let's have at it. And yeah, and I love it. I genuinely love it. Unfortunately, I'm not the only one that gets to make decisions on what wins.
Trent looks nothing like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
I look like a Yu-Gi-Oh card?
Even your face is in Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You're not the blessings. I
know what you're talking about. Yeah, people made those stuff. Yeah. Coupon code is only for console. PC. This is not actually a PC stream, although we are talking about PC and talking about.
Can we close Calpheon Node War and open up a less rendering heavy area, right? With the large
Oops, cap locks. Really?
Yeah. It's funny how you got that one. With the rework on Node Wars right now, so the rework going on with Node Wars will affect us as well. It is something that we're planning to roll out across everything. That's taking a majority of the people who develop Node Wars, who are the guys responsible. That's taking 99.9999999% of their time. So asking for things like that is a little bit tricky. We have tried, but it would require a developer solution because the way it works is sequential. So this Node War region, right now, I believe this is the way it works. This region needs to be open for this region to be open. This region needs to be open for this region to be open. I believe it's somehow like that. So we'd have to turn it off and turn on another one would require other things. We'd also have to try and reprogram the Camasylvia buff, I believe that Calpheon gives, into the other region. It's a little bit too... With the Node War stuff going on, the rework and stuff, we want to make sure that's great so that when it launches for us, it's great. Getting something special and pushing for it right now is a little bit difficult.
2 things. 1, Density Faded Simone. Get me those details. Hit me on Discord so that I can take a look into it, because they're all having the conversation about the... You would kill me if you did that.
Awakening Bond skills is core skills.
Yeah, please do let me know about it. Whoever, let me know. The next one was, someone was just like, I look like Shang Tsung.
Are we talking Mortal Kombat movie Shang Tsung?
Yo, he's pretty flat.
Yeah. Hold on. All you got to do is point at the camera. Go. Just point at the camera and then... It's there! Oh my... He's got it, boys.
I would love to be Shang Tsung. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be pretty sweet.
Okay. Oh yeah. Your soul is mine.
He's so iconic.
Why does he point with 2 fingers? Who points like that?
Because you go pew pew.
But yeah, okay. Did I miss the explanation of the monster spawns? We're working on bringing it back. So basically, the monster spawns, we've talked about it in past streams as well, in that we feel like the optimization that has gone in so far might allow us to bring back the monsters. Stay tuned.
Because the Thanos Snap was not the only optimization effort. It was the most publicized one. And with good reason. But there were other efforts, and we think that this might be good for it. So let's take a look into it.
How do you track contribution points spent on housing not in a city?
That's the one that's small and faded, and then we're talking about
It's really hard.
Yeah.
You just go in and have a look. Sucky as that is.
You haven't noticed on site to clear up any fort or
In the
fences?
Termian areas. Oh, Dark Lord Tempest, that is because we are planning, hopefully it's still in, to add the Termian Christmas event that's coming. It looks pretty nice. I've got to admit, some of the Christmas stuff from the screenshots I've seen looks pretty cool.
Do you have any information about the sheriff event? Nothing that wasn't already shared in that thing.
Even though I read it, I still don't understand it. I think what the idea is, you could bring someone in to come and help you if you're too weak on the war servers.
Yeah.
It depends how it works. Or someone will come and help you, or you could pilot something for a little bit that could only do PvP. I'm not sure.
Faded, Simone, and Densey are like, I think we discovered something that we're not supposed to talk about. I was like,
Which is
the investment stuff. So I'll take a look into it.
the contribution point investment stuff.
Yeah, I'll take a look into that one.
They'll just say get good and kill you instead. I mean, the idea is that, I think the idea between the whole like server base thing is that you get bonuses and buffs and stuff. This is the idea, I believe, is that you get buffs and bonuses for your server depending on how well you're doing. And if you just let your kin die and you decide to pop them yourselves, and generally your server gets weaker, I think your buffs get weaker. So it might be in the best interest for everyone to throw it all in and see how it goes.
Two things. Is there a way to fix the camera when I zoom for stuff? It gets on.
Zoom out ever so zoom. I know what you're doing. You're zooming all the way in. Zoom all the way in. Pull it back ever so slightly, and then use the D-pad to raise it up.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. The focus gets a little bit wonky, but you can't there is a sweet spot. If you're getting that foggy vision, it means that your camera either is resetting to try and get the nice thing, or you've zoomed in too far and it's focusing behind your character. So you need to move it back ever so slightly.
There's two other ones from YouTube that I want to talk about. Was like on Global Labs, this happened for witches. Why isn't this happening for Shies then? I unfortunately don't have the power to control Global Labs, but like that, your concern for it, I'll let them know. I'll ask Justin something about that.
Yeah.
Because we can get a hold of them.
Our influence on the Global Labs is at a bare minimum, but we do report what we see. And that includes PC feedback or whatever. Like, the thing is, right, we are console CMs.
Mm-hmm.
We predominantly focus on console. But in general, both of us have a love for Black Desert that's pretty damn high. So I read PC stuff. Black Desert Foundry, for those who don't know, Black Desert Foundry... they've been around the scene for years, and some of their guides are very outdated, but they do like new stuff. Their Global Labs translations are pretty damn accurate, if not near perfect. Their Calpheon Bull summary is kind of what helped us today. We did obviously have a little bit of extra backup information, but it was an easier way for us to get it than taking everything from our stuff.
That's not a bug.
What's a bug?
Simone, did you not know this? So you can invest and get housing in a node that you haven't invested in.
I thought it had to be invested in.
Don't think so.
I used a lot of Dolphy websites. Yeah, Dolphy's gone inactive, though, so it might not be the best to use Dolphy anymore.
No, it's... All right, I'm going to take a look into that, but I don't think that's weird. If it is doesn't need to be invested, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be invested. That's what I thought. That was my.
I thought it had to be. That might have been what I said earlier, which is why I said it in the.
Okay, I'll take a look into it. If we find out that it's wrong and you have to be investing in it, Prophet might be angry. So.
Someone said, "Can we get a global lab on console?" Right.
Yeah, Taco's right. Housing does not need investment.
No, you won't be able to. So the reason why we wouldn't be able to do Global Lab on console as easily is because it would require a whole new build of the game to be pushed and inserted and to go through everything like that. At the moment, or even in the future, I feel like having that version would slow things down to a crawl. Because I'm not even sure how it would work. So I don't think a Global Labs on console will ever work.
No, Global Labs would have to be a separate...
It'd have to be a separate client.
Yeah.
And then it would require its own cert processes.
Yeah.
And it would require a lot of other things that take time.
That's going to be kind of rough for us. Make a Dungeons and Dragons stream with your...
It's something I thought, but I can't find a DM to do it.
Oh, Wait, isn't that how it ended up on console team? We were going to play Dungeons and Dragons once, because I've never played. We were going to play Dungeons and Dragons once with a bunch of other people. And then someone from the console team came down and was like, "Hey, Trent, you know French? Come on over." And I've been stuck on console since. So, yeah.
Pretty much. We got everyone together. I was going to be the DM. I had no idea what I'm doing. I'm not a DM. I've played, but not much. And then we're all sitting down. We're waiting for one person. And then we get the phone call. And this is before launch. And the phone call comes in. And it's for one of the translators that we were doing it with. "Hey, we need you to come do something." So he goes off. Then we get another one. "Hey, we need you to do something." So he goes off. And next thing you know, it's me and him sitting in a room. And then someone comes in and says, "Hey, Trent, I heard you can translate French." And that was it. That was me just sat there with all my dice and my my books. And I was like, well, this ain't ever happening.
Oh, that was such a weird...
Whatever happened to CM Simon, he evolved into a creature known as CM Sherna.
Yeah, that's how I got stuck on console. It all started with...
It all started with the
D&D did not start.
Yeah. And then we just never really had time to do it again.
Yeah.
Plus, my kids were really young then. I think they were like 3 or 4.
This is actually a good question, and I'll flip this back onto YouTube and on Twitch. It's near the end of the year. Are you guys, because it was directed to me and you, but I'll flip to you guys. Are you guys satisfied with yourself in BDO in terms of your progress as gamers?
As a gamer,
within the full year, do you feel happy with what you've accomplished?
Yes.
Yeah?
I did.
Chat, let me know.
I've done pretty well in terms of like gear score progression. I may have regressed a little bit this weekend because a 100 stat came in and I went YOLO. So I did kind of, drop back a little bit.
Yeah.
But in terms of everything else, I ended up, making money, getting what I wanted, then blowing it up and then doing it again a couple of times. So I'm pretty happy with my progress in general.
I mean, in terms of like purely from a gamer standpoint, like I'm happy where I got to. Like there's definitely room for improvement, and that's something I'll carry on to the next year. But I don't think that I know I've accomplished all my goals that I wanted to get, and anything that I fell short on, I know better ways to go about it.
Oh, because you want a dream horse.
I do want a dream horse, a very special type of dream horse.
One that can't fly.
Yeah, my goal, the only thing I've missed this year, legitimately, was I want an Arduino, but I want it to be bricked. Like, it cannot fly. And I want it at max, and I want to throw away all my skill change coupons so that I can't get it.
I have no interest. I have zero interest in dream horses. Zero. Even Doom, zero. I just don't. Yeah. The horse stuff isn't for me.
Okay. Day by day is the objectives right now.
C-Dot is clearly talking to Kashima right now.
Yeah.
I know C-Dot's relationship with Kashima, and C-Dot writes, "We want Dumbo." Now that is not a coincidence, considering Kashima rides everywhere on a mini elephant.
Some people have made improvements, but they're not happy with what improvements they made. Given what's available, yes. Potion pieces. I know you're preaching.
This is an interesting question, actually. Why are character updates pushed over new content? Right.
Sorry?
Why are character updates pushed over new content? Right. If you're relatively new on console, especially to the streams, pretty much before Guardian launched, it was nothing but Guardian went. Even Hashashin launch comes. Why are we getting this? Guardian went.
Oh, right.
So
that was rough.
So there was a lot of like Guardian when. So Nova was planned to launch roughly now, I would say, with Hashashin. When was Hashashin? July, right?
Yeah.
July, August?
Summer.
Summer, yeah. So it was a few months, and, we had to kind of squeeze in Guardian somewhere. Even though, kind of could have squeezed it in a bit later.
Hammers are a one-time use.
Hammers are a one-time. If they were forever, oh my god.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. No, they're one-time.
But in terms of like character updates, even in the past, and I know how people feel about the updates, for whatever. But
at the end of the year, it does tend to slow down a little bit because it becomes harder to get things through the cert process.
No, it wasn't.
We pick up.
I'll touch on this part. It wasn't that people kept begging for a class, so we only did a class update. What happens is, during the span of console, we had characters that we wanted to release based on like survey results and talking with the community and stuff like that. Guardian had its own issues when people found out about it and started asking about it, but in terms of content and releasing certain content with it, I think aside from Guardian and Nova, every other thing has had something to go along with it, whether it's like bug fixes and whatever. So you may feel that compared to, let's say, like Lon's release, there was so much more with it, or with this class came Valencia, with this thing came this. To do that is what happens when we try to speed through.
Also, at the beginning, it was pretty much like no breaks.
Yeah.
And if anyone remembers kind of how bad performance was around that time, like how bad it got before optimization took the process. If y'all remember that, it was pretty rough. And each update got worse and worse and worse. This is mostly for Xbox players more than PlayStation players. But it got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until it was at a point where, we're talking PlayStation Pro with a hard drive from a 1996 Windows 98 computer. Yeah. Like, it was rough as hell. Yeah. So what happened is we went, okay, we need to work on optimization, but we do need to bring content as well. So there was kind of a joint push together to balance it out a little bit better.
There was a duality in it.
Yeah, and what we've been trying to do is like balance out the optimization and stuff. Someone said you should put on that costume behind us. Y'all need to start reading those DMs that come through. Go back to the Guardian stream for console, and you'll see what should have won the cosplay contest.
Which we were very upset about. Well, one of us was upset
How did I not win the How did I not win that? DK on a horse? Sherner and Guardian. Which... Guys.
I mean, yeah.
The winner was easy. The winner was easy.
Kashima, no.
Kashima, I can't say that, but that's pretty much what it is. Okay, someone asked for the coupon code for the hammers. After this maintenance, so after the next maintenance, you type in hammers from J1212. Now, J here could stand for Jessop. It could stand for Jehi. It could stand for the Joker. And either way, kind of makes sense. I needed a horse. Oh, man, I needed a horse. I should have sat on the roof of my car. But then it would have got dirty. Trial Guardian, I believe, is in. I believe it's added and improved on this update.
I have to take a look into the skill add-ons because that was a question that was coming in. In terms of presets, does the skill add-ons also save?
I believe they do.
I believe they do, but yeah.
Why are certain words and numbers censored in-game chat? Right, that's really dependent on your platform. If it's starred, it's us, and for that, we're not sorry. We can't. We have to have a level of filter, and it does make it difficult. But at least it only puts stars in. Whereas, if it's removed completely, that's a platform issue.
Time frame on CAFRES and content related to that kind of stuff, I won't be able to tell you. For some reason, is there going to be another art contest? If we had a meme contest, I'd open it for console.
I mean, we've had quite a few art contests.
But I think the time invested into making that, because again, like, DJ knows what I'm talking about, but the amount of time that person invests into a piece of work to make it that good requires a lot of time and polish, and they're really good at it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we can kind of push that yet.
So just to quickly recap on the balance with Succession and Awakening, the classes that have huge disparities, we are aiming to make them. Which is why Berserker is the best class in the game, because Awakening, Succession, relatively even.
Yep.
Guardian, Awakening, Succession, whoop!
Are Manos tools tied into CAFRES?
No, but they're tied into Life Skill Mastery.
Yeah.
Which is something that we don't have as of now.
When are you guys gonna get it in your hat? No, okay, so
when are we getting a new hat?
No. When they're kind of giving out about people who keep asking about CAFRES.
Oh, okay.
I get it, and this kind of ties into another question from YouTube. Like, does it ever kind of get to you as a CM? And I can honestly say, yes, sometimes, because you saw it today. Like, I was venting out of frustration, but at the same time,
that was my plan, though. Saved me.
In my mind, though, I want to assume and I say this word without the maliciousness behind it, the ignorance in someone. Like, if you don't know, I assume that in you. Okay, well, you're just asking a question, right? What gets harder to do is when you know those people, and that still happens.
Yeah.
So you can't assume the ignorance in someone. And again, ignorance without the maliciousness, but
for me,
I understand it.
For me, if it wasn't the fact that I curse like an absolute sailor off streams, I'd probably be stressed.
Yeah.
But we all have different ways to do it. We all have different ways to relax, and mine is swearing like an absolute sailor.
Yeah. And oh my god, Kashima. And for me, just having the conversation is always really nice. I think and I've said this in other people's streams as well, I think the format of Twitch and YouTube essentially is that I will say something, but someone will hang on to the last thing that they heard. And so they'll keep going through that. So yeah, that's kind of, it gets difficult at times.
I just want to say, right, someone said nothing wrong with swearing. When you do it on the level I do, it's an art. Yeah. But we were really, okay, I'm going to bring this up. We were really lucky on Saturday. So we're sitting in the room and we're preparing. And before stream, the air turns blue because we got to get it out of us,
Yeah, we
mostly
both curse a lot.
Mostly me. I curse a lot more than you do. So we're sitting there and someone's messing with our computer, which is lucky because we weren't just talking to each other. We were trying to find out what was going on. And then the guy who played the dice game, he walks into the room and he's like talking. And I'm not sure if he's talking to us or talking to someone else, but then I see the phone on like a selfie stick.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, he's probably live streaming. If he'd have walked in 30 seconds earlier, I would have been fired because I was cursing like a trooper because something wasn't working. And that's how I solve my problems. I swear at them until I understand them. And he walks in talking and I'm like, is he just trying to take a photo or is he streaming? And he asks like, are you streaming? He's like, yeah, say hello to everyone. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Imagine making me go on stream before I have to do a 3-hour stream. It's... Yeah.
We generally try to get stuff out right before we start streaming. So the countdown is when we are just getting everything out there.
Oh, man. if y'all could hear that, we would be probably deported at some point and probably, put in jail somewhere because things get, the topic of conversations, they get a bit dodgy. But we do it not because, we're malicious. We're doing it because if we say dumb stuff before the beginning, we're going to focus down onto not as dumb stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to, make us better.
A few things to touch on. Why not just use the banner to talk about what the common questions are? We were going to do that, but that's not entirely what I mean. I don't mind repeating myself during the course of a stream. It's when it goes on a I don't want to say philosophical level, but on a meta level, it's very different.
Right. We're wearing masks this time because the coronavirus has gone up. Normally we don't. As you've seen, this is the first time we've ever worn them on stream.
Won't the delay of Capar's overall limit the amount of content you can release for players at endgame? Like, I saw that question. I was trying to think of, the best way to say it without...
being as finite as just saying, not really, no.
Yeah, in terms of, being hostile. But
it's not being hostile.
Sicaria... It could be taken as hostile.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Sicaria and Star's End, roughly, are what? 260? I know that Sicaria has 3 levels, and it goes, 180, 235 Khatum, and then, 260 Khatum, 270. And Star's End roughly is about 260, 270 AP. So, I mean, I might be wrong on those APs, but that's what I've been reading. I've been looking up. So those APs are obtainable, just not as easy. I get that. AP ain't the issue, it's DP. Well, then, DP for, I believe, Sicaria, I was reading yesterday that they recommend a minimum of 308, which is possible with full Tet boss gear, which would put you at roughly 310 with maybe an accessory thrown in for good measure.
Can we get an option to auto Black Spirit
It really depends. 330 is the abyssal zone within Sicaria. And yeah, 330 is a little bit tough to reach, but you can make up the difference, I believe, here and there. If you sacrifice a little bit of AP for a bit of DP, maybe. But abyssal zone, yeah, it is 330 DP.
That's what I was looking at. Can we get an option to auto BSR at 100%? I don't think so.
They automatically Black Spirit Rage at 100%. It's the non-100% that...
When you hit 100, it automatically goes.
Oh, no, because then it blows the skill. Or are we talking about absorbing it? Because that's
what I assume.
That's a skill.
That's what I'm assuming that was.
That's a skill you have to learn. You learn your timings.
I could be wrong, but I believe that's
when is the next stream?
I mean, at this rate, just stay here. We'll reach next week.
The next stream we are planning for next week. We're planning to do a Nova stream. It really depends how it works out. But also, man, the eyebrows on Nova... I'm still looking at my creation here. I'm actually proud.
Yeah, that...
Bond skills next patch, no, but they are being worked on. And we are looking at bringing them in eventually. Black Star is coming. We don't have a date at this moment. We're talking more theoretically that the APDP, is relatively okay. Yeah, I have 330 DP in Abyssal and they still hit like a truck. The fact that they hit like a truck... 330 DP is the recommended DP that you would use, but you still have to be on your toes playing. You still have to rotate your armors properly. So the idea is you still have to be awake. It's not it's not someone who's 270 AP grinding in Ackman, where you could probably just hold a button or two and you'd be okay. Because even if you get knocked down, you probably have infinite HP pod at that point. So discord.gg/Play Black Desert.
Yeah. What weapons does Nova use? A Morningstar and a...
They're unique to her.
Yeah, unique weapons.
Merry Christmas to everyone. If you celebrate that, if you celebrate anything else, happy holidays or, happy whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, it's a festive period for a lot of people. A lot of people have time off work, so just enjoy.
Legitimate enjoy. And, stay safe.
Yep. Whatever you celebrate.
Timer stuff we're talking about. I know that's happening.
Yeah, the Herald log. Oh, man, I started to do it. I did book 1. It's not that hard. Okay. Here's how I did it on Zerk. The first one when you have to talk to the NPCs. First, learn the NPCs. Learn where they are. Don't go into map and set a route. Learn where they are. Set the final one so you know roughly where you're going. Memorize your route. Then I use Zerk's skills I moved my horse to the end spot. And I used my Zerk skills to go from one to the other to the other to the other. So like Frenzied Destroyer.
Yeah.
Lava Piercer into the leap, into that stuff. And I used my skills to get to the end to where the stable is because I knew I had to stop. There's parts here. And then I rode the horse back and I completed it with about 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Book 2 is difficult.
I think the idea was that, like, for people who are non-Zerks, it was quite difficult.
Oh, I mean, if you're a Musa...
Sounds like non-T9 problems.
Does sound like non-T9. Have I got the pop piece yet? No. Getting closer, though. I feel it in my bones. It's gonna hit within the next week or two. You hit invisible walls.
I know about that.
Where? Is that the bridge? Would that be the bridge with the elephant on it, wouldn't it?
And Calpheon, and just in general. That was a reported issue.
Yeah, it has been reported.
Yeah.
I'm 2 out of 3 for HP punt and have been for the longest time.
It doesn't matter what skills you use, invisible walls stop you. No, I agree. I know. Yeah, that one's been reported.
Is my Xbox just like on crack or something?
You also might be playing at different times. Because, again, we are in Korea.
We are.
So we offer you our personal experiences, but we know that's not indicative of what the server is.
100%. We'll talk about ours.
Yeah.
But I know that a lot of people do have these issues. So it's not like I'm like, man, I had nothing with invisible walls. Because I didn't. But, you know, I understand that people do have these issues. Could you fly a lawn over it? You couldn't fly a lawn for those the NPCs that you have to talk to because you don't get enough elevation.
You guys are in Korea? Yeah.
Yeah. We're in the Pearl Abyss office. This is the Pearl Abyss
Despite
office.
what the audio issues tell you, we are streaming out of the Pearl Abyss office.
Yeah, the bridge elephant is the biggest pain in the butt. I'm trying to see if there's a way.
Sorry, just one check because we've been streaming for about 2 hours now. Kashima, are you alive, man? You actually okay?
Yeah, he's okay.
Legitimately, are you okay? Because we might have to call it.
Wow, you boys, I thought you were in the LA offices. No, man. No, we're in the Korea office.
I've never made it outside of the LA airport.
That makes it sound as though you get stopped.
Okay, so I'll explain this really quickly. I went to LA as like a layover, but I was gonna leave the airport. But because I had surgery on my knee and they didn't demagnetize the metal, it set off the metal detector. And you know,
you don't need to explain anything else.
Yeah, and then it was the Transformers 1 scene where they put a donut in the middle and like the table slightly edged. I was stuck in there for 5 hours. I've never seen LA.
I went to LA for E3 in 2018.
Oh, okay.
And that's the only time I've been to LA.
What was it like to see the sky?
I hate LA. as I don't hate it, but there's some people who go to LA and come back and they say, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but there's just something a little bit weird about it. And I was with Valencia, because we were going to E3 together, and she lives there. She legitimately lives in LA. She's from LA. And she's like, oh man, it's so cool. Look how awesome LA is. And I'm like, I don't get it. LA's all right.
I will say, though, the LA airport is top notch.
Oh, it is not.
It is.
If
you've seen Vancouver's airport, I'm pretty much okay. Montreal airport, not so great. LA airport, like their interrogation room.
It's more like it's more like for me. I grew up in the United Kingdom where buildings are older than 30 years old, and that's how. Like walking around, it's like here's a little strip mall thing. I think they call them strip malls, the little areas where there's like a Planet Fitness or whatever. It's always the same, but every building looks like it was created satirically. I don't know how you have a building that's created satirically, but that's my take on LA.
Few things. Will we see the Hammer of Jay as a reward again in the future? I don't know. Honestly, like it's whatever Jehanim thinks that like he just gives. He's quite nice in terms of like he's very giving with rewards, and people kind of have to hold him back sometimes. So yeah, there's that. Do we both speak Korean? Honestly, yeah. And
my Korean is considerably weaker than his Korean, though. I'm English, man. Our education system doesn't prepare us for multiple languages. It's true. We go, like, English people generally go to Spain and expect everyone in Spain to speak English. And, you know, our education system doesn't prepare us for the world at large.
Yeah, okay, so I saw this other thing is that can I put a report on this crazy NPC lady running around Calphion?
Sure.
Yeah?
Sure.
I don't know what you're talking about, though, but yeah, all right. And in terms of, like, how long we've been in Korea, for you, it's 10? No.
10. Am I from Kent? No. I'm from Dudley. That's why I say Cobb. You
all right there, buddy?
I actually have a friend who lives in Kent. Like, one of my close friends moved from Birmingham to Kent.
Okay. I don't know what these places are.
Kent is, like... It's where people who can't afford to live in London but work in London but have enough money to live in Kent. That's where they live.
It's like the commuting destination?
It's nice.
Okay.
It's a nice area, but it's for people who can't afford to live in the middle of London, but they work in London, generally. Why can I transport goods to Valencia but not characters? Ooh, that's a good... It's not a suburb. That's a good question. I don't know. I know what a suburb is, guys. Like geography and geography-related things are a passionate interest of mine.
Oh, we're not getting into this again.
But it's not a suburb. Suburbs are generally closer to the city, and they're on the outskirts. Kent is its own city, about 40 minutes away from London, but people live there because they can't afford to live in London. Yeah.
Can I report this annoying shy bossing around this nice giant man in Belia?
I know who you're talking about. She's fine. She's
fine.
just giving him motivational speeches. Do it better. Do it better. What are you going to say about East Sussex? I mean, nothing that you guys haven't already said about yourselves.
Dude.
Dude. Look, man, I'm from Dudley. I don't like the rest of the United Kingdom. Anything south of, like, you know, Warwickshire, useless.
Wait.
My real voice? You haven't heard my real voice.
I hear that voice in my dreams.
So the interaction with the Y button, the speed and stuff like that, the Y button speed is kind of a limitation that we have to kind of have. The speed on the horses is there, so you don't hit invisible walls. We might be able to remove the speed on the horses later down the line, but right now, no. It's not going to be that kind of stuff. Yeah. So if you put the wrong code in 10 times, you have to wait 1 hour before you can start doing it again. Yeah. But the Jay's Hammer will not be available until the 16th of December.
Yeah.
This code is console only, yeah. Yeah.
Wait, Afro, did I not answer your question?
Purposely ignored it, buddy.
Oh, I thought I did answer it already.
That's just disgraceful.
Huh. I thought I did it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Add a function together. We've talked about that. It might not be as easy as you think. It might also make things worse because there is a delay on the ring menu.
Yeah.
In comparison to other things, so it might actually slow it down. We'd have to see. Like, we have suggested it as something to, you know, bring forward and talk about, but I don't know. It's really hard. A desktop app for BDO Plus. There is a. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah. Someone's like asking, like, do you guys know what's gonna happen with in terms of like PCs? Oh, how do you say that in English? How do you say
transfer? Service transfer?
That's what it is. So, like, it's a service team. I'm so sorry. Like, what's going to happen with the service team? I don't honestly know. I don't think, for those of you that are asking, I think if me and Sherna do PC and console, like, give me mobile too, and it's gonna be bad.
Part of it is like we're not the level of employees who know about this right now.
Yeah.
We don't know.
And right now, for me, like I feel at home here. Mobile is still like home away from home for me. Taiwan.
I don't get it.
The Taiwan team. I miss you guys. But like I like being here, and it's been good.
Bernie says I've been playing over xCloud. I play through game streaming. It does play really nice, actually.
No, I know about what the transfer is, but I don't have enough information about it. Someone asked, have you guys used the walking mode? How did you guys like it? In all honesty, the walking mode was for
people, not us. Were there any other consoles on console recently? So recently, being the Calpheon Ball, we had Calpheon Gift 1212, which was a device of Valk's 100. 4-tier Young Rauno with an exclamation point, which is the Burning Jade Flame for a tier 4 pet with your winter-bearing egg. And Hammers from Jay 1212 starts tomorrow. Yeah. That gives you the Jay's Hammer, which allows you to basically use the hammer to eat the chrome cost of an enhancement, but only for gear, not accessories. Someone said, oh, but accessories was discovered through data mining. Guess what? Guess what else is in data mining? Succession skills like ankle cutter on Ninja. But they don't exist in real life.
No, we're not doing that. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Calpheon Gift 1212.
We say tomorrow because we're in Korea. I'm sorry.
It's not confusing, people in the West. It depends on your time zone. Because if you're in LA now, you'd be...
You don't get to say whether or not they are confused.
I can say! Because it depends on where you live. If you live in Europe... Wait. If you live on the far coast, it's still before midday, so it would be tomorrow. But if you live on if you live like New York, it might be just past, so it might be later today for you.
You're not confused.
Tomorrow.
Trust me.
Tomorrow.
I know.
If you live in the United Kingdom,
yeah, no, don't.
It's tomorrow.
I get what you mean. No, people get confused. You're not confused. I know. Someone on YouTube is in Korea, dude. If you're in Korea, let me know.
I don't know what we could do, but it'd be dope.
Yeah, because
all right. We have an absolutely balling Christmas stuff right now, like in the office. It's really well done. It's really nice. It's just a shame that 90% of the workforce are working from home.
Yeah.
But it looks really nice. We've got a couple of nice Christmas trees and the decorations. Chef's kiss. It's actually really nice. Someone said about what would be a healthy siege scene for us. Honestly, I wouldn't have a thing on it. I guess just contesting.
Contesting, I think.
But our personal whatever would be healthy is probably very different because mine also includes a dollop of trash talking.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the trash talk. I will slightly touch on this, is that because someone had once said that, when I say someone had once said, I mean within the last week or so, is that like, Sharon and Trent, you guys aren't even in Siege Guilds. What do you guys know about the game? And it's like, dude, you don't want us in Siege Guilds. And the reason I say that, like, with jokes aside, is Siege requires instant communication. You got to be on voices. You got to have comms. You got to be able to do this properly. As soon as we go on comms, people are going to find out who we are. And that alone gives an unfair advantage to that guild. I don't think you want us in that Siege scene. And to a certain extent, nodes as well.
I mean, we can be. I know there are a few people here who used to be really heavy into the NA Siege scene.
You and I can't. But there's people in our office who are.
Because they're not as public as we are.
Yeah. That's how I feel about that.
And people thinking that I used to be on Panic, I mean, I'm flattered, legitimately, that you thought I was in a Siege Guild. But I ain't playing at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday for Siege. 9 o'clock in the morning, I believe. It's too early for me on a Sunday. And it's, if it was nighttime, I'd 100% do it. if it was like, as it is for our players out there who live in those regions. But as I live in a different region, it's much harder for me on a Sunday to wake up. And you're right. Sherna has no thumbs.
I wanted to join with the voice changer. Afro's right. I wanted to join with the voice changer, but you know the one I wanted.
Yeah.
It's the Optimus Prime mask. I really wanted that.
Presets are tomorrow.
Yeah, presets tomorrow.
So we should give an office tour of the things you
Presets
would see.
on the Wednesday maintenance. When maintenance finishes on a Wednesday in your area, that's when presets are.
Tomorrow.
No, stop confusing people.
Tomorrow. Does the fail stat go higher with the hammer? That I don't know. I haven't actually tried it.
We haven't touched that thing.
We just sold the same stuff as you. We don't get that.
Not tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Can we siege Canada? I mean, why don't you just take it off? It's a hat.
You say
this
hat.
is still live? Question mark. Yeah, we're still going. I think we are gonna have to.
We're gonna have to call it.
My throat. We play NA servers, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a choice at the beginning, NA, EU, and basically I looked at it and went, I can do 3 world bosses a day, 1 at work.
Can we shoot down Grandpa Kron? No, you can't. I've thought about it.
I've asked for this. I've asked for an event where Grandpa Crone has a little bit too much to drink on the night of Christmas. And decides to, he turns into the Futurama Santa. And unfortunately, it was denied.
Are you going to discontinue support for old consoles?
No.
No. As Jessamine said in the Calcium Ball stream, while the next gen consoles have allowed us to, work on the game in a different way, our priority is still optimization. That's not something we're going to go. Drink tea and keep streaming. Please, no. I don't know if Kashima's still alive. I feel guilty.
It's Kashima who wrote it, and he put a smiley face at the end of it.
Oh, Kashima, you're evil. Can we fight Santa Kron? Oh, man, if we could, that'd be sweet.
I really want to, but unfortunately, it's not possible. Can you make a way for them?
Faded is still awake? Faded, thank you so much for... And anyone joining us from Europe or the east coast of NA, awesome.
All right, someone said... I take it blue screens at world bosses is not going to get fixed in a pretty sarcastic way, right? The thing is, we know that there are blue screens at world bosses. We know that it happens, but there is not one sole reason it happens. It is not necessarily a bug in the code, because if it was a bug in the code, it would happen to every PlayStation player. If it was something related to your network, it would only happen to you. The fact of the matter is, it's a lot of different variables that doesn't have just one fix. And if you fix one thing, you might be creating 30 more instances. So it's really difficult to actually just say, are you going to fix this huge issue? But it's just not going to happen.
I'm sorry, I lost it at one of the comments.
Get off McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, basically, we're looking into it, and it is something that we're constantly working on. It would be considered part of the optimization when we talk. Yeah. When we talk, we actually mean it. Optimization, blue screens, and stuff like that comes under optimization. I'm tying on Tim's.
You're tying on the Tims?
Tying on the Tims.
This can't be any worse than 3 a.m. Calcium Ball. We started earlier, so, that much.
All right, let's talk about times. Calcium Ball. The thing is, we have to pick a time zone. And the thing is, we're in Asia, and it's not because we don't like America. It's because when you're in, who here, all right, I'm just gonna ask you, if someone said to you, hey, buddy, do you want to come to work at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're going to be on camera and you're going to be talking, how many people would just accept that? Not that many, I would assume. I would, because I've done it. You would, because you've done it.
Yeah.
But the amount of people who would accept that in general, not many.
It would be far more difficult, because of how many people we had on board for the Calcium Ball. In regards to these streams, we try to do it as soon as we get into the office because we don't want to break any like
Actually,
legal laws.
I think I'm asking the wrong audience because these are people who are already
They're
working
still
late.
awake.
Yeah.
Right. So
Wrong audience. But what I mean is like in general, getting people who do a 9 to 5, 10 to 6, 10 to 7 as we do, it's a lot more difficult. And imagine doing that but you had to finish work the day before at your normal time. You couldn't go early. So you'd be finishing at 7, starting at 3. So that's what, 8 hours plus like an hour to go to sleep, an hour to wake up. Yeah, it's one of the things that like, as much as we would love to do it, getting that many people on board is probably a lot more difficult than just saying, let's run it on a 5 o'clock and hope, because we do help Europe in that point.
But I will say though, and again, I said it earlier in the stream, I'll say it again. Thank you to everyone who did join us for the stream and anyone who saw the VOD. Like, it meant a lot of us, and we saw a lot of familiar faces in the stream.
And also, I just want to point out, thank you to all the people out there who, when someone who doesn't know who we are was saying, yo, these guys, unprofessional, what's going on? And you're like, yo, leave them alone.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Huge respect to you.
As someone, I remember someone commented, was like, oh my god, these two so unprofessional when we were losing it over the dice game. And then someone was like, oh, those are our boys. You don't know unprofessionalism. Come check one of our dead streams. And I was like, that is such a backhanded compliment, but I love it. I love that, like, self-deprecative humor, you know?
Someone asked like a really weird question.
Huh?
So, lived in Central Korea. Where did you live? Because I used to live in Sangju, which is like smack bang in the middle of Korea. That's where I used to live. It was dope. I'm guessing Daegu is probably where most people live. Now that Panic is dead is the hopes for Medea. We weren't just holding it back because Panic existed. It would be funny if that was the case. But as it stands, they're not the reason we didn't add it.
Yeah, despite popular belief, and this happened when Xbox first launched as well, we didn't hold back certain content because Arsha existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Osan, yeah, I know Osan. Have you been to Osan?
Osan, yeah. Osan's nice. I drive through there. Or I drove through there, sorry. Because I just like doing road trips in Korea.
Yeah.
I
was originally going to ride my bike from... I was going to ride my bike down the east coast, so not through Osan. Would have been the west coast. Oh. Can you guys provide a map to Sicaria? I spent the whole day yesterday on my raft. It's not out yet if you're talking about console.
Did you try looking in the desert?
Dude, he might be serious here.
He's not.
He's
not. He's on.
Will console ever get the Arsha PvP event?
Yeah.
It's something we're looking into, honestly. It is something how I want to do. How big is Korea? 60 mil. 52 mil. 60 mil is the UK.
It's not in the desert.
Mil.
It's not out.
You said Arsha, now Arsha Law's here.
Huh? I don't hate Arsha.
I mean...
like, don't get me wrong. I don't like them.
The comments? Right. Okay, someone said, all right, this is something that I actually want to address, and I think this might be the last thing. Crimson Desert is obviously... The trailer was dope. And I really liked it. And it's something that I really am interested in. How will that affect Black Desert? Right. Now, with development, generally, you see a lot of studios, they will put people to work on the thing. And then once the game is released, depending on the type of game, you would then shift them around, move them about, whatever you have to do. With MMOs like us, we probably keep most of them around. Some might go to a new project and, they might switch and swap around and, go help out here and there. But the majority of the people working on that project have been working on it for a long time. It's not going to kill Black Desert. In the bowl, guys, we're planning on launching a new continent. We're planning to launch the Land of the Morning It wasn't morning calm, but basically it was Korea. They're planning to launch the new continent behind whatever, Port Rado, whatever. 2 years. Now, if that ain't a statement of interest of like, we're going to be here for a long time, even after Crimson Desert launches, even after, I don't know, Dokkevi or Plan 8, the other ones that were announced, even when they launch, we're going to, Black Desert is probably going to continue.
Like, we still exist.
And for the fact that there's a 2-year plan at minimum for a whole new, like, a 2-year plan, that's not even the reality. It'll probably take 3 years. Who knows?
But obviously, barring emergencies or exceptions, no, we're here to stay.
The plan is to continue.
Yeah.
It's not like, all right, if you owned a shop and everybody is buying crunchy bars, right? Everybody is buying them, but a new chocolate comes out. Do you abandon your crunchy bars for this new chocolate? No, you you offer both.
You're speaking to my soul. If you guys need to go to sleep, go to sleep. We're basically just kind of shooting the breeze right now.
Yeah.
Our action is going to be taken against a terrorist group called Shineanonymous. I've been in communication with their leaders.
Thought BDO was a 10-year plan exactly.
Yeah.
It has been. It's been 6 years since the Korea, but I don't know. 10 years is like where they wanted to, but there's always the continuation of dreams.
Am I going to be Nova this time?
No, we don't actually have a cosplay set up for every class.
Americans don't have crunchy bars.
I know. Sucks to
right?
be you. Crunchies are dope. Okay. I want to sleep, but the wife is aggro. What are you going to do? Right. What you need to do, mate, is switch servers.
Right. Just leave the house. I don't recommend that.
Open the door, close the door, walk to the end of the driveway, and then go back, and I think you'll be fine. Generally, that resets aggro.
And you're on console. You don't have a server swap cooldown. You can
Exactly. You can just keep doing it. Just keep doing it until she gives up. Send us some crunches. Unfortunately, crunches are rare in Korea. They are here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, on the stream, I was talking about, like, grinding my kids for crone stones in the Calpheon ball, man.
Okay, but we got to call it.
We do. We've had
fun.
fun. It's been fun hanging out with everyone and chatting and everything that we've done. Just know that I'm gonna end with this one.
Okay.
The people who are working on console now, especially the development side of things, they believe in console. We're gonna continue to improve and try to, the idea is we want to release many of the contents announced during the Calpheon Ball because it is Black Desert, not Black Desert PC or Black Desert console. It is the umbrella of Black Desert. And we said this during the stream, but we had to reiterate it today with Jesok's legitimate blessing and words. We are a game. We will be, there will be some times where something will come out on PC and not on console for a while because that's just how the design works or the balance and development process. In terms of content, we are trying to do as much as we can and release as much as we can. We are working on it. It's not. I've seen the doomsayers be like, they're giving up on console. Not true. Legitimately, console is here to stay. The development process is going to continue. We're going to continue to try to optimize. We're going to add more content. We're planning to have content come relatively around the same time. If that happens, amazing. If it doesn't, it's probably a good reason, and it's called blue screen.
One final note I'll say is that, thank you to everyone who joined us for this stream and having this discussion. I will say that based on the roadmap that Jasonim has said, as well as like statements made by Gononim and Jnim and them, I think the future of Black Desert as a whole, and that includes console for a majority of it, is in a really good space. There are times when we make missteps, and you'll hear from me and Sherna before anyone else. We don't believe in this part, or we don't agree with this part.
I.e. the Voice of Adventurers stream last time.
And after the Voice of Adventurers and that communication, that's where a lot of things ramped up. In terms of like, okay, we got to make sure this communication thing does work. So when Jessamine was talking about we have to ramp up our communication, it wasn't like directed at anyone in particular, but a lot of it is inspired because of console. So thank you to everyone for that. I would like to say stay positive, but people have frustrations. So do tell me your frustrations. Just remain human throughout it. You can be frustrated or angry.
We get frustrated and angry.
Yeah.
Like, holy heck.
Just remain human for that, and I think we're all going to be in a better spot for that. This discussion has been great. This stream is only for console. It was a little bit of both. Mostly console, a little bit of PC. You're always welcome to join us, but we got to bounce from here.
Yep. So I've been Sherna.
I've been Trent. I know the Calphion Ball was a bit of a misunderstanding in terms of communication, but I hope we cleared up a lot more. So thank you guys. We'll see you guys next time. Maybe not for this long of a stream.
Next time it'll be a gameplay stream because it'll be Nova. Yeah! Woo!
See you later, guys.
See you guys.